Yo, 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 what up, y'all? It's your boy Rob coming back at you once again with another live stream. So before we get started, you already know what to do. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the bell icon twice. Smash the like button, share this video out to all of your followers, and let's get it cracking. All right, so shout out to everyone who is in the building early. It is good to see each and every one of you. If you can hear me okay and everything looks and sounds good on the screen, please give me a thumbs up or a radiation emoji in the chat. If you cannot hear me or things look and sound bad, please give me a thumbs down or an angry face. All right. While you guys are doing that, I'm going to shout out everybody who is in the building early. All right. Shout out to Catsy. What's good with the Catsy? Shout out to Brooklyn Queen. We got Brooklyn Queen in the building. Shout out to Tedra. What's good with the Tedra? Shout out to Sybil. Good to see you, Sybil. And shout out to everyone else who is here who has not said anything yet. It is good to see each and every one of you. All right. So what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about a lot of products of pro crime culture, and we're going to talk about some goofies with some guns because people were busy on 4th of July. People were busy on 4th of July. Now, I want to ask you guys this question. What is the worst thing that you guys heard that occurred on 4th of July? Let me know in the comment section. We're going to go through it. All right. And again, my channel is by no means every single thing that happened on 4th of July. This is just some of the stuff that came across my radar. All right. So before we get into some 4th of July stuff, we're going to get into this. This is one of those crimes that don't happen, right? Pro-crime culture. There's two types of pro-crime culture in the United States. The first kind of pro-crime culture is people that commit a lot of crimes acting like the crimes just spontaneously happened. We have no idea how this happened. The person that did the crime is not their fault. Let's worship the most degenerate people that we could possibly find. Worship them to the point that they get first choice at procreation, right? Then there's the other element of pro-crime culture where there's other groups of people will just act like they don't commit any crimes at all. No, there's no possible way. This is a typo. This is a mistake. This is not true. This individual didn't do this. Shout out to Win, Lose, or Rug. There's no way. Right? So when it comes to the United States itself is encompassed in pro-crime culture. And pro-crime culture proliferates amongst the different groups of people in the United States in many different ways. If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down. Shout out to Win, Lose, or Rug. What's good with it, bro? Man charged in Jackson County deadly shooting case appears in court. So this dude right here with a head that looks like it could go through a brick wall easily allegedly shot somebody. Okay. One McKee man who was charged with murder in a shooting that happened nearly 3 years ago appeared in court for a preliminary hearing. Ricky McQueen was in Jackson County Circuit Court on Tuesday, June 3rd. He was charged in connection with a shooting that led to the death of Billy Isaacs, who was 42, of McKee in September of 2022. Now, here's my question. What's taking so long? Why is it taking so long for this to get dealt with? Isaacs was pronounced dead at the scene by the officials with the Jackson County Coroner Office. A pretrial conference was set for McQueen for 9:30 a.m. on November 4th. Okay. Now this is wild. And again, this is one of the reasons why you just, you look at these headlines, you got this former coach right here facing grape and sodomy charges. He's not going to have the same luck that P. Diddy had. Right? And then this modern woman down here, this MW, facing burglary and assault charges. I don't know. But I'll tell you what, anybody that wants free publicity, all you got to do is just do something stupid and you'll be right on the news. You'll be right in front of everybody. Everybody will get to see you. You get to perform in front of the crowd that you always wanted. Right? So let's take a look at this. Knox County man arrested on drug trafficking charges, reportedly tried to bribe police. The guy with the crooked glasses, that's your drug trafficker. What do you guys think about that? That's your drug trafficker. Now, you know, one thing that people tend to not do is people tend to not make great people great, and people tend to not make fame-worthy people famous. I got to ask you guys this question. Why didn't any of your favorite content creators make that guy famous? I don't know. I don't know. You should ask him next time you go there, right? One Barberville man is facing charges after police found marijuana, several pills, and several firearms at his home. On Saturday, June 7th, deputies with the Knox County Sheriff's Office searched a home on KY 459 near Barberville. According to police, the search was the result of an investigation after they had received reports about illegal drug trafficking going on. Police seized suspected cocaine and a loaded firearm in relation to the activity. During the search of Nathaniel Edison's home, police say they also found THC vapes as well as THC wax, scales, baggies, and other drug paraphernalia. Now, let me ask you guys this question. What was homeboy planning on doing with that stuff? He had a bell, he had some bags, he had some wax. What was about to happen with that stuff? Edison, who was 24, was charged with trafficking in a controlled substance in the first degree, trafficking in marijuana, possession of drug paraphernalia, and trafficking in legend drugs. I'm not familiar with legend drugs. After police said Edison tried to bribe them with cash to not have him arrested, he was charged with bribery of a public servant. Edison was taken to the Knox County Detention Center. So again, this is one of those crimes that doesn't happen, right? This is one of the crimes. Now, what's interesting about this is if you listen to content creators who are delusional, they'll literally have an article up and say, these are the crimes that you don't hear about in the news, as they're reading the information from a news article, despite the fact that some of these large content creators actually have enough money to pay a budgeted investigation team. All right. So how many people heard about the quote unquote veteran pipe attack that took place in Philadelphia? All right. Now, if I'm not mistaken, there was a situation where Trump was talking about alligator Alcatraz or something like that. You guys remember? I think we might have even talked about it on Undocumented, right? Trump was talking about alligator Alcatraz, and he said, quote unquote, people who hit veterans need to go to alligator Alcatraz. Now, I don't know if it's this particular incident that he was talking about when he said that, but here's an instance where, quote unquote, a veteran was hit with a pipe. Shout out to DJ Elmo. What's good with it, bro? All right, so let's take a look at this. Shout out to everybody watching. I appreciate you guys. If you all have not smashed that like button yet, please do me a favor. Take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you guys have not hit that bell, please take a moment, hit that bell. Also, please share the stream to your social media and make sure that you all do the survey that is in the chat. All right.
Oh, a terrible attack when a group is accused of throwing a liquid on and then beating up two men on Chestnut Street in Center City. The victims, both Marines. Actions reporter Brianna Smith spoke to them, and she's at police headquarters with that story.
These veterans say they still don't know why they were assaulted, but they called it brazen and bothersome. They also say as Marines, they're taught to de-escalate, but they say nothing would stop these suspects from attacking them.
It's a miracle I'm still here.
This is a gruesome photo of Sean Toolan's head after he says he was attacked by these 6 suspects in Center City on June 12th.
So now here goes my question. Ladies and gentlemen, what's up with this? Another question, quote unquote, did this happen? Right? Another question, quote unquote, who made these people do this? Anybody got any answers for me? We're welcoming them.
I've been a resident of Philadelphia for the last 13 years, and this is the first time I can think of being, fearful of going to like Center City.
Toolan and his friend Robert Whalen are Marine Corps veterans. Both were walking home from a Ton Tavern Legacy Foundation board meeting to prepare for the branch's 250th birthday when they were assaulted. The veterans say they were in the 1500 block of Chestnut Street around 10:45 p.m. when the suspects threw water at them.
One got up in my face and I said, "Hey, we're really nice guys. Please just leave us alone." And that's when I saw Sean get hit by the pipe.
Tulin and Whalen say these 6 suspects also kicked and punched them repeatedly, leaving them bloodied and bruised. Tulin says he had a huge gash in his head, a concussion, and broken nose, while Whalen was left with cuts and a black eye.
Now, again, here goes my question. What do people think about this? What caused this? Who made these people do this?
Even in that moment, like, we didn't want to hurt them. We just wanted to get away.
Now these vets fear for the next potential target. They say these suspects need to be held accountable no matter their age.
As veterans, we've gone out there and tried to protect the country, but then to, be in our, hometown and have to face, violence like this.
I feel lucky that, Sean and I weren't more hurt and they weren't hurt as far as we know, and hopefully they don't do this to somebody else.
Now, check this out, right? I'm surprised that they didn't take this story and politicize it all over the place. Now, here's my question. Again, I want to know, not only, here's my question. What should be done to the people who committed this assault, and what should be done with the parents? Because let me ask you guys this question. Do the parents have anything to do with this? If they do, give me a thumbs up. If they don't, give me a thumbs down.
These vets say it's also important to them to lead with love and to teach the youth right from wrong. They also urge the community to reach out to police if they know anything about these suspects. Reporting outside Philadelphia Police Headquarters, Brianna Smith, Channel 6 Action News.
Yeah, so that's interesting, right? That's interesting. Should get addressed. Yeah, shout out to Brooklyn Queen. Brooklyn Queen said, super facts. How'd they miss the opportunity to run with that? Right. Right. Now, here's my question. How do you feel about little punks like this giving people content? How do you guys feel about that? What do you guys think about that? Now, here's my question. What are people going to do to stop little punks like that from giving people content when we're already facing an uphill battle? But remember, you can't ask those type of questions. You can't deal with that kind of stuff. You can't talk about it at all, because if you talk about it, the centralized YouTube media will call you a coon. Right? So just throw the coon emojis in the chat for me already, because centralized YouTube media calling your boy a coon. All right. A bounty hunter and a private investigator were charged with a murder in Old East Dallas shooting. How many people heard about this? Now, this is a bounty hunter. These bounty hunters have been kind of off the hook lately. I heard that there was a situation where there's some beef with a bounty hunter that detained an illegal migrant, right? Then there's this situation. Let's see.
Bounty hunter and licensed private investigator both charged with murder following a deadly shooting in Dallas. Rodney Brown and Jorge Monsivas stand accused of shooting and killing 33-year-old Drew Knowles. The crime happened Thursday morning near some apartments in Old East Dallas. Fox 4's Peyton Yeager is live tonight with more from those newly released court documents. Hey, Peyton.
Hi, Casey. And we spent the whole day trying to find new information on these 2 suspects. They are here tonight at the Dallas County Jail. Now, according to online public records with the state of Texas, the armed security officer licenses for both of these bounty hunters actually expired last month. So after the deadly shooting yesterday, the 2 suspects were taken to DPD headquarters to be interviewed. They are now both charged with murder.
A family from Arkansas is grieving, sending us these photos of 33-year-old Drew Knowles, who moved to Dallas in 2019. Dallas police say Knowles was shot and killed Thursday near Deep Ellum when 2 bounty hunters opened fire on his vehicle.
Now, I want to ask you guys this question. Why do you all think that the bounty hunters opened fire on his vehicles? And bounty hunters are fake police officers, in my opinion. They don't have any business attempting to detain or apprehend a civilian. A lot of times they're these big, giant, hawking, attempted intimidating dudes. And, I'm not too sure how good of an idea that whole thing is. Yeah, I gotta agree. I agree 100%. Shout out to Brooklyn Queen. Brooklyn Queen said a can of whoop ass used to solve a lot. Coward culture has been promoted for way too long. Facts. And coward culture turns into pro-crime culture as people grow up. You know what I'm saying? If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down. So all these people are just walking content. They're just walking content, and they're okay with it. And they think that there's nobody out there who's going to do anything about it. Like, these people are in a constant state of laughing because they think that they're punking people. If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down.
Both bounty hunters now face murder. They are identified as 34-year-old Rodney Brown and his partner, 23-year-old Jorge Monsiváis.
Now, look at. I want you guys to see. These are the giant chin people. Okay. These are the giant chin people. Now, you know, this is one of the reasons when I see people type in the chat, I support ICE and all that, you know, I always make it clear I don't mess with law enforcement because clowns like this are a part of law enforcement. These mega chin morons are part of law enforcement. So, you know, when people say, you know, I support ICE and all that, you know, that's cool or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But just understand that that's being read as a comment. I don't support any law enforcement. And this right here is why. This right here is why.
According to an arrest affidavit Fox 4 obtained on Friday, the two bounty hunters were executing a warrant for Knowles. Dallas County Sheriff's Office confirmed to Fox 4 Knowles did have 2 active felony warrants, one for theft from Dallas police and another for credit card abuse out of Carrollton. The bounty hunters first went to Knowles' listed address, a high-rise in Uptown off Thomas Avenue, but he wasn't there. Then, while using automated license plate readers, Brown and Monsiváis learned Knowles' vehicle was parked near Live Oak Street and Cantegral in Old East Dallas. Police say that's when the pair, who were in 2 separate vehicles, boxed Knowles' BMW in. The affidavit states police reviewed nearby surveillance video. The video showed as Knowles was trying to drive away, both Brown and Monsiváis opened fire and were shooting into a moving vehicle and not being in danger of being run over.
Now, here's my question. What made these 2 bounty hunters think that they were allowed to do that? That's my question. What made them think that they were allowed to do that?
Knowles was shot at least 4 times. He crashed out into a nearby power pole. Cell phone video from a witness shows what appears to be the 2 bounty hunters minutes after the crash. Police say Monsiváis didn't have any outer clothing identifying him as a bounty hunter, and Brown had a vest with the writing "Warrant Services" in the top corner. But both of them clearly appear to be in a panic.
Also today, Casey, I tried to get a hold of the private security company the 2 bounty hunters work for. That company is called Code 3 Investigation and Security. It's based here in North Texas. I called and emailed.
Yeah, facts. Shout out to Tedra. Tedra said, I just read that bounty hunters are only supposed to go after people who have skipped bail. Right. So here goes my question. What were they doing going after this guy? And what were they going to do? Arrest him? Like, what were they going to do? Let me ask you guys this. How many average citizens do you all think know how this quote-unquote bounty system works? Do you think that everybody knows how this works?
This afternoon, no response.
Well, Fox 4's Peyton Yeager, excellent work as always, trying to dig up the very latest information for us. Peyton, live in Dallas. Peyton, thank you.
All right, so there's that. All right, so next what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at this situation here. There's 2 situations where there were bikers, and these bikers, the first situation, there was a crazy biker brawl. Okay, there was a crazy biker brawl. In the second situation, let me see, hold on real quick. In the second situation, there was a massive FBI raid. Now, I don't know if anybody's been paying attention, but there's been some massive FBI raids all throughout the bike community, all throughout the biker community. Now, here's my question. Why has this been happening? Why has this been happening, ladies and gentlemen? And shout out to everybody watching. I appreciate you guys. If you all have not smashed the like button yet, please do me a favor. Take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, please take a moment, hit that bell. And also, please share the stream to your social media.
Violent. This violent biker gang brawl turned shooting during Bike Week this year landed more than 24 alleged gang members in handcuffs today. It was all part of Operation Mongolian Beef. The FBI raided the clubhouse of the Mongols biker gang in Volusia County. Fox 35's Chris Lindsay joins us live from the sheriff's office. Chris, the FBI and SWAT team also showed up to some of the gang members' homes.
Yes, they showed up early this morning. Now, when this incident first happened back in March, there was only one arrest made. But as we learned today, that was only the beginning. Punches thrown, shots fired, and bystanders scrambling for cover.
Bullets were flying. Innocent people were there. Children.
Now, again, this is pretty big, right? Shout out to Win Lose the Rug. Win Lose the Rug said, at least they're finally calling them gang members. Facts. In the United States, and people of the United States have been compliant in calling these people, quote unquote, clubs, right? When they literally wear insignias that show that they're involved in criminal activity, right? And again, this is all part of pro-crime culture. This is part of pro-crime culture. Pro-crime culture is we ignore crimes and we downplay crimes from certain pockets of society, and from other pockets of society, people within that society act like crimes just spontaneously happen and they have no idea how it happened. So this is an all-inclusive thing. Okay, this is an all-inclusive thing because why not? Hashtag all idiots matter, right? And these people are idiots. Most people are.
Busy day.
Nearly 4 months after this brawl outside of a gas station in New Smyrna Beach,
That we are not going to tolerate violence, and in particular gang violence.
nearly 30 biker gang members are in custody from all over the state.
Put all the motorcycle gangs on notice. If you come here and you show, we're going to show ours.
New Smyrna Beach police were joined by the FBI, Volusia County Sheriff's Office, and a few other agencies for Operation Mongolian Beef, looking into this brawl between two groups known as the Mongols and the Warlocks.
You see the Warlocks, they make a phone call, and the clubhouse is only, 3 miles up the road? You'll see the Mongols start to come in droves now. And look at the clock. We started this at 11:20. In 13 minutes, you start to see all of these Mongols pulling in again.
During the March 8th scuffle, 2 bikers were shot.
Now, you got to ask the question, right? You got to ask the question, why didn't this make national news? It didn't make national news because national news doesn't care about this. It's just that simple. So now here's the question. Why didn't it make news of the people that allegedly supposed to care about this? Now, shout out to these motorcycle gangs, right? When it comes to quote unquote 1% motorcycle gang, 1% motorcycle gangs are like the rest of the United States, right? They don't like black people. So anytime you see a 1% motorcycle gang, the Warlocks and the Mongols are both 1% motorcycle gangs, you know that there's 0 black people involved. Why am I mentioning that? I'm mentioning that to ask the question, well, where's your black news people talking about this? Where's your Mark Lamont Hill talking about this? Where's your Joey Reid talking about this? Now, let's talk about the Mongols, right? A lot of these 1% motorcycle gangs contain of particular ethnicities, right? Shout out to Win Lose a Rug. Win Lose a Rug from California. He probably knows this. What's the majority ethnicity of the Mongols? Anybody who knows in the chat, let me know. If you don't know, I don't know, maybe look it up.
Eventually, we're able to identify 7 people that are armed, 4 people who shot. 3 of those 4 people.
Shout out to Katsy. Katsy said, Asian, try again.
People that shot were involved in a shooting last year in Titusville.
In this operation, over a dozen search warrants executed in multiple states. A total of 28 people are behind bars, with 3 others still wanted.
Can you imagine what it would be like to be filling your car up with?
Yeah, shout out to A2Z. A2Z says Mexican. Shout out to Win Lose a Rug. Win Lose a Rug said whites and Hispanics. Yeah. That's for the most part. That's the ethnic and racial makeup of all of I would say like 99% of 1% gangs. So there's that. So why am I asking that? I'm asking that to say this. Why do people blame the national news for not producing stories that they want to see? Do you own the national news? No. Does the national news have a interest in gaslighting you? No. So why do people expect the national news to report these stories? Why do people not look at their content creators of choice or their social media people of choice or their independent news of choice and say, hey, there's all this stuff going on. Why aren't you saying anything about it? Well, the reason why they don't do that is because they actually don't have a demand for it. They don't have a demand for it. They don't care. But then they ask why they're not being fed this stuff. You got to feed yourself. You know what I'm saying? You got to feed yourself.
Gas or taking your grandkids by the hand and walking them into a gas station, and all of a sudden fighting and then gunfire erupts.
The bikers to be charged with aggravated rioting, which is a second-degree felony.
The sheriff says the investigation is far from over. They'll continue combing through footage and reviewing other evidence, and there possibly could be other charges on the way. Reporting live in Volusia County, Chris Lindsay, Fox 35 News.
All right, so now don't lose track, all right? Do not lose track. That was a video clip about a fight that took place between which two motorcycle gangs? The Mongols and the Pagan, or the Mongols and the Warlocks, right? Now, these other video clips are talking about things going on with other motorcycle gangs, okay? So let's see what these ones are talking about here. That's it.
Where nearly 30 people are behind bars after a statewide crackdown on outlaw motorcycle gangs. Those arrests following a violent riot during Bike Week in New Smyrna Beach. During those FBI raids, 2 suspects were taken into custody that were located here in Palm Beach County.
So now I want to ask the question. Is there a connection between this and the undocumented bros? If there's a connection between this and the undocumented bros, give me a thumbs up. If there is not, then give me a thumbs down.
Our Jamilka Gibson is live tonight over in Boca Raton at a neighborhood there with the details on that story. Jamilka?
Jim, the people I spoke with say this raid happened during.
What do you guys think about that name? Jamilka. Jamilka. What do you guys think about that name? Be honest. What do you guys think about that name? Let me know. Don't hold back.
The early morning hours, and that loud bang is what woke them up, followed by the FBI asking the people inside to secure their dog.
I have a question. When you see somebody like this and a voice like that come out of them, do they get do the people that go on the news do they get like interior nasal surgery to be able to to talk like that? How do you do that? Shout out shout out to Windows and Rug. Windows and Rug says she is gorgeous, so I would just call her Jay. Listen, man, the local news has the best women, dude. The local news has the best women, for real. The local news, man, if you work in the office at the local news, man, you lucky. You know what I'm saying? I'll just put it like that. Like anywhere, wherever, regardless what type of woman, the local news has the best of the best, you know what I'm saying, in business casual, hands down.
The FBI asking the people inside to secure their dog. A biker bust in Boca Raton Wednesday morning.
I heard a bang, and I thought it was a gunshot. It was very loud. You could feel it in your body, and then you could see the flash in the sky go off.
Flash bombs flying and neighbors waking up to chaos as the Federal Bureau of Investigations stormed a house off Northwest 16th Avenue.
Now, again, it's the same question that we ask with all of this stuff, right? How many people want to live next to this? If you want to live next to this, if this is something that you want to live next to, give me a thumbs up. If you don't want to live next to this, and this is annoying, this is disgusting, this is not the type of thing you want to be around, then give me a thumbs down.
And 7th Street. Crime scene tape and cruisers surrounded the home as officials executed an arrest warrant for Kevin Cole.
But still, I'm trying to figure out, how do you get your voice to sound like that? Is there anybody that could tell me how to get your voice to sound like that? How do you get your voice to sound like that? I don't know how to do it. That has to be a surgical intervention.
An alleged member of the Mongo's motorcycle gang.
So when I walked out, I saw all the police activity, and a policeman came racing down the street.
Okay, so the last video was the Mongols and the Warlocks. Boca Raton FBI crackdown, more cracking down on the Mongols. Now, again, my question is, what does this have to do with the undocumented bros? This has a lot to do with the undocumented bros, right? What does it have to do with the undocumented bros? Somebody let me know.
We shut the street off, and they had all sorts of trucks up there blocking the way. They had like a police siren, and then over the PA, I couldn't make it out exactly, but they were saying something along the lines, the house is surrounded, you need to come outside.
Federal agents were seen carrying out large paper bags and boxes from the residence. They say Cole is one of 28 people taken into custody.
There you go. Now, again, these are crimes that these don't happen, right? And somebody will sit there and be like, oh, what about that guy in the top right-hand corner? His name is Francis Gomez, for anybody that's curious. This dude at the bottom named Jacob Velez, he looks like a dude that I was friends with in college named BG. Shout out to my man BG. You know what I'm saying? I think he down in Columbus these days. Now, how many people seen that TV show called The Mayans? It was like a spinoff. It was like the Mayans was to Sons of Anarchy, like what Better Call Saul was to Breaking Bad. How many people saw The Mayans? The Mayans is a fictional motorcycle gang based on the real motorcycle gang, the Mongols. All right. So if you ever seen a TV show, The Sons of Anarchy, or you ever seen a TV show called The Mayans are this is who the Mayans are actually based off of. I wonder how that works. Like, do they have to pay them for the likeness? Listen, shout out to Windows and Rug. I would have watched it. But they had a different, like, it seemed like it was a different crew of Mayans. Like, they didn't have Emilio Riviera on there. You know what I'm saying? Like I wanted to see the ones where Emilio Riviera was the president, because he had it lit on Sons of Anarchy. Emilio Riviera was lit on Sons of Anarchy. He had it going down. And then, like, when I saw, like, the first episode of the Mayans and I saw that Emilio Riviera wasn't on there, I was like, man, I'm cool on this. I don't even know who these people are. You know what I'm saying?
A city in connection to a gas station shooting that took place in New Smyrna Beach during a riot between rival motorcycle gangs. The March 8th incident left 2 people injured, but the arrest of the violent offenders extended well past Palm Beach County. According to this post on X from the state attorney for Florida's 7th Judicial Circuit, the state...
Now, all throughout my content, right, you could look at, binge watch my videos or whatever, right? You know, that's something that people, that's that stuff people don't like, right? I've always talked about this. I've always brought this up. I've always asked the question, why don't people talk about this kind of stuff more? And again, the people, the centralized media on YouTube that wants to be the narrative masters, right? They never take any angles or any positions utilizing data where the data is effective and it can make a point stick. It's just comedy show and jokes and things that are easily debunkable or things that can be made cloudy and people won't take them serious. It's almost like that's being done on purpose to deteriorate the integrity and seriousness of any issues that people may bring to the forefront. I can't be the only person that notices that. If you guys notice that, give me a thumbs up. If you don't notice it, give me a thumbs down.
Wide operation targeted more than 24 suspects across Brevard, Volusia, and Miami-Dade counties, and even Virginia. Officials say the investigation is ongoing, and at least 3 arrests are still pending.
Now we know another man by the name of Steve Rangel was also arrested in Boca Raton.
Hey, do these people make these voices? Seriously, how do you make your voice like that? She had to take a deep breath and swallow and then do this. Like, if you're just talking in your natural voice, you don't have to take a deep breath and swallow in most cases, right? You just say what you got to say. She had to get a lot of air in there. Look, she had to get a lot of air in there. Watch.
Another.
Hold on real quick.
Still pending.
Now,
see? She had to take that nice gulp real quick, and then she had to take in a nice breath, and then she could push her palates up and make it really high-pitched, I guess.
Now we know another man by the name of Steve Rangel was also arrested in Boca Raton. We're working to find out if he was living in this house right behind me. Reporting live in Boca Raton, Jamelka Gibson, CBS 12 News.
Shout out to Windless and Rugg. Windless and Rugg said that was for show practice. Bro, that was for show practice. That was for show practice. That voice was rehearsed. I don't want to hear nobody. Listen, man. All that stuff people be talking about, you know, like, oh, yeah, you know, what do they call it? Code switching and all that. I don't want to hear anyone complaining about something got to be natural and all this. I don't want to hear none of that. I don't want to hear none of that. None of that. That's out the window. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to DJ Elmo. DJ Elmo said her voice is that Valley Girl accent some sisters display to fit in. I don't even know. That's like beyond a Valley Girl. I don't even know what you call that. I don't know what you call that. I don't know what you call that, but I'll tell you what, though, the voice didn't match the profile. I'll tell you that much. I'll tell you that much. You know what I'm saying? Now, here's some SWAT raids that they did, and they did this at the Pagans Motorcycle Clubhouse. And they did this because the Pagans were involved in a shooting that involved another group called the Outlaws. Okay, so it's lit, summertime lit. Now, again, where's the national and centralized YouTube media content about this? Because remember, trying to paint a narrative. That's the whole idea. That's what media does. Right? What did Rupert Murdoch say about media is related to culture or something like that? Okay, well, if that's the case, and if that's the narrative or that's the motive that you're going to use for your crony media identity, where is the organization of whatever narrative is trying to be established? It's unorganized, all over the place. Reaction videos on Pop the Balloon. But this is what people want, though. I want to know. I need people to tell me in the comment section who's dealing with this type of content right here. Nobody. One of the reasons why nobody is dealing with this type of content is because this is the reality. There is no market amongst the many for relevant information. There is only market for comedy shows and glazing. That's it.
Shattered glass filling the parking lot of a notorious biker club building.
This morning, the State Bureau of Investigation executed some search warrants at the Pagan Clubhouse along Highway 321. Channel 9's Dave Faraday is live for us there now. And Dave, the investigators told you this is connected to a shooting involving a rival club just a few weeks ago.
Yeah, Erica, a spokesperson with the FBI told.
So again, I keep asking everybody this: how do these shootings, how does this violent activity in situations like this, how does this stay off of the radar? How does it stay off of the radar? How do people not know about this? How do people not see it? They don't see it because they ignore it. Okay? They're not as interested in it as they claim that they are, or they want someone to feed it to them. This stuff is out there. It's all over the place. I get this stuff recommended. I'm a local news junkie. I watch local news all the time. It's all over the place. And then people will turn around and say, well, this wasn't reported. No, you didn't report on it. It's not that it wasn't reported on. You didn't report on it. You suck. You know what I'm saying? Now, here's my question. Why do people have such a difficult time telling people who suck that they suck? That's my question. We'll do it. We'll go through it together. It'll be like counseling. We'll help each other. Right? We'll help each other.
Told us earlier today that the search conducted here in Lenoir was in connection to that deadly shooting at the Outlaws Clubhouse, which is down in Newton. If you look behind you can see the Pagans Clubhouse. It sits right along Highway 321. I spoke with several neighbors in this area. They described hearing 2 loud explosions and then SWAT moving in. The FBI says 2 SWAT teams in Lenoir went to the Pagan Clubhouse around 4 a.m. In daylight, we could see the shattered glass and damage to 2 doors. Betty Pittman lives a block away. It woke to the sound of the raid.
Me, my husband, and the grandbabies, it scared them to death. They didn't know what was going on.
The FBI says it executed a search warrant here as part of the investigation into this shooting 3 weeks ago at the Outlaws Clubhouse in Newton. 2 people were shot and 1.
Now, you know what's fascinating? No, literally no one says that this woman is speaking in Ebonics. This is ancient Ebonics right here. What's up with that? Help me. Come on. Help me. How come ain't nobody saying anything about this ancient Ebonics right here? Yeah, that's right. How come ain't nobody saying anything about this ancient Ebonics right here?
Me, my husband, and the grandbabies, it scared them to death. They didn't know what was going on.
Now that's how come nobody's saying anything about that? Somebody, where the boss at? I keep asking this question. Where the boss at? Where's the boss at? Shout out to DJ Elmo. DJ Elmo said, like Paul Mooney says, they got the complexion for the protection. SLC 24A5, crime that's so nefarious. Not only do they have a protection for the complexion for the protection, but shout out to Julius Malema. The board gets ignored. You know what I'm saying? That's another issue, right? That compounds this idea of quote unquote protection. Now, them two Marines, that didn't help them out too much. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, there's that.
The FBI says it executed a search warrant here as part of the investigation into this shooting 3 weeks ago at the Outlaws Clubhouse in Newton. 2 people were shot and 1 man died. This is the 911 call made that morning.
Medical attention. Gunshot. Okay, where's shot at? There's multiple.
A short time later, a dispatcher named the Pagans as possibly being involved in the shooting at the Outlaws in Newton. 25 miles away, Pete Walser can see the Pagan Clubhouse from his front yard in Lenoir and supports police efforts here.
I think it's good. They need to kind of move out of here and let the neighborhood be peaceful again.
So far, no one has been charged in connection with the deadly shooting in Newton, but FBI agents say Anthony Card was arrested and charged with.
There you go. Now, what do y'all notice about any of these tattoos here? That's interesting. I'm curious about the quote unquote no Jesus tattoo under the neck. That's interesting. Again, why don't your content creators inform you about this stuff? People, yeah. Shout out to Win Lose a Rug. Win Lose a Rug said a lot of Celtic symbols, it looks like. Well, probably a lot of Celtic members. Right?
Possession of a firearm by a convicted felon at the Pagan Clubhouse this morning. This neighbor, who asked we not show his face, hopes the group finds a new home.
I'd like to see him gone because it's just a bad element.
Hold on, we got more ancient Ebonics. How come nobody says these people speak in Ebonics? How come nobody said Hawk Tua spoken Ebonics? Where y'all going? Where y'all going? Where y'all going?
It's just a bad element. It's all hours of the night, all hours of the weekend.
That was some ancient Ebonics for you. Ancestral Ebonics.
And I did try repeatedly to talk with members of the Pagans earlier today. They had no interest in talking with us about what happened here this morning.
Oh, you a brave one, bro. Shout out to Dave Faraday. Dave Faraday, a real one. He said, I tried to interview them. Hey, hey, shout out to you, bro. You need a raise. Your company don't value you enough. If y'all agree Dave Faraday needs a raise, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. He said he willing to put his life on the line for the news. Yeah, not quite.
FBI told me that they were out here for more than 3 hours investigating. Reporting live from Lenore, I'm Dave Faraday, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Dave, thank you. We have more details now as the Department of Justice considers the Pagans as one of their big 4 motorcycle gangs. They consider them to be highly structured criminal groups, saying that their members engage in violent crime and weapons and drug trafficking. The DOJ reports they're...
Now, you know we have to go in, right? All because they brought up structure, they brought up organization, they brought up organized. Let me ask you guys this question. Have you ever seen any discussions about structured organizing of Bloods, Crips, anything like that? I'm just curious. Just curious. Just curious. Just curious.
About 300 active motorcycle gangs in the U.S., ranging in size from 5 members to some chapters that have hundreds of members. The Outlaws also part of the Big 4. Back in 2010, when the ATF raided their clubhouse in Newton, Dave was invited to take this look inside. You saw that video there showing the damage, including a large hole there where law enforcement blasted their way inside. Members of the Outlaws told Dave at that time that anything that had their name on it was taken.
So, yeah, they talked to Dave back in the day. So, you know, shout out to Dave, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Dave. Shout out to Dave. So we're gonna take a look at another FBI raid on a this is interesting. We're gonna look at another. Hold on real quick. We're going to look at another motorcycle gang raid. I just saw something interesting. Let's make a deal to legalize people to work and live in the USA, says House member. So apparently they're going to make some type of deal for the undocumented bros to live in the United States legally and work on these farms or whatever. Very interesting. Gangs got it going bad. Trinitario's gang member found dead in New York State prison. Mexican cartel hackers. We talked about this on Undocumented. Targeting FBI officials' phone. If you guys agree with DJ Elmo said black gangs have no codification, just maximum sophisticated confusion. If you guys agree with DJ Elmo, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. So now here's my question, right? Let's just say that if that's the case, why do they continue to make the choice to operate like that? It would seem to me that operating like that would minimize revenues and maximize risks, right? So why do they continue to make the choice to move like that? Shout out to my man AB Promotions. What's good with it, bro? Shout out to Win, Lose, or Run. Is that the dude from No Jumper Podcast that blew his hand off? I heard somebody from No Jumper Podcast going to be walking around looking like Edward Scissorhands from here on out because he had an unfortunate fireworks mishap. Win, Lose, or Rug said gang members can't commit crimes right or use fireworks correctly. This dude blew his whole hand off on the 4th. The gang members are stupid, bro. These are idiots. And this is one of the reasons. Don't even get me started. Don't even get me started.
More breaking news again in Volusia County. In just the last few hours, only Channel 9 went along for this ride you see here as deputies raided a local motorcycle club. You can see here in the video this as investigators go after a number of people they say are involved with the Mongols Motorcycle Club. The sheriff's office says the group is responsible for a shooting at a busy gas station between rival motorcycle clubs in New Smyrna Beach during Bike Week. Channel 9 Volusia County reporter Demi Johnson was there when they were all arrested. She's live now at the training facility in Daytona Beach. And Demi, there will be...
What you think he was saying when he blew his hand off? Oh, my hand. I blew my hand off. Like, man, how you that stupid that you blew your hand up? You see what I'm saying? Like, man, that they almost blew up a whole neighborhood. Like, these people are dumb. Listen, gang members, criminal culture are partially responsible for the outbreeding of intelligence. If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down.
Much more information released in this case in just a few hours.
Darlene, that'll be with the FBI, the state attorney's office, the attorney general, and of course, the sheriff's office. Sheriff Mike Chitwood tells us while the raids are over, all the warrants have been served, the investigation into the Mongols is only just beginning. We rode with the sheriff this morning as all of this played out here in Volusia County.
Stand up, open the door, and walk out.
We watched as investigators went to club members' homes in Edgewater. We watched one walk out, surrender peacefully. The SWAT team recovered multiple weapons from that house. Sheriff Chitwood says all of that evidence is now being turned over to the FBI as part of a much larger investigation into the club. He tells us some members are in the country illegally. Others have ties to other crimes across the country.
See that? Some of the members are in the United States illegally.
The SWAT team also raided the Mongols clubhouse in Edgewater. Do you have how many in custody at this point?
So it's 6:30 this morning. We have 18 of the 30 are in custody. I would say it was a pretty damn good start today. The objective is to unify, collect the evidence under one procedure and have one group examine it. So digital forensics, phones, iPads, whatever is in there on the warrant. And of course, any paraphernalia, their colors, their vest, everything. Because I'm telling you, this is the beginning. The fuse is lit. And they made a big mistake. They made a big mistake acting like a bunch of assholes out there because now the full force of the federal government, state government, county government and municipalities are coming down on them.
The group is facing felony aggravated riot charges. That comes from a state law that passed not long after.
So again, I kept asking, I'm asking the question, does this relate to the undocumented bros in any way? Does this relate to the undocumented bros in any way? Does this relate to the undocumented bros in any way? And what this tells me is that the content that people spend the majority of their time watching when not watching my content has not sufficiently educated people or informed people to be aware of minimum things discussed when we're having discussions. And again, if you ask me, you need to either pay less or they need to charge less. Shout out to Katsy. No worries. No worries. Shout out to AB. AB said he probably yelled out, "I blew my hand up on Crip and tried to throw up gang signs with the missing hands." Right. It was a little bone stub sticking out there. I blew up my hand. It was and it was bouncing up and down like hydraulics. hey, somebody should have gave him an applaud or give him a hand. Because he's gonna need it. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna definitely need it.
civil unrest broke out across the country in 2020 to prevent riots from happening here in Florida. The sheriff's office believes it's actually the first agency in the state to use that law. So far, at last check, 28 people have been arrested. The FBI is in contact with 2 others. They're waiting for one person to land in Newark, New Jersey tonight at an airport. He was on a trip out of the country. Then they'll take him into custody. We'll have much more from this press conference here at the sheriff's office. That's supposed to start at 3 right now. We'll update you guys as soon as we have more, starting on Eyewitness News at 4. For now, live in Daytona Beach, Demi Johnson, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
All right, so yeah, so there's that, right? The motorcycle gang's getting cracked down. So your boy Pencilhead Brandon Johnson has some things to say about this gun violence that took place in Chicago. All right, now this we might actually have to. Oh man, hold on real quick. We got to look at this real quick first. Hold on. I got to get these in order real quick. Shout out to everybody watching. If you guys haven't smashed the like button yet, please do me a favor. Take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, please take a moment. Hit that bell. All right. And also, please share the stream to your social media. All right. What the? Yeah, we got it. Man, this is just, see, this is what I'm saying. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this right here. Wait a minute. Oh my gosh, man. I hate it here. Look at this. Hold on real quick. Wait a minute. I hate this. All right, we got a couple things. We got to update. We got a couple things we got to look at. I'm so tired of this. All right, so there's this rapper called No Savage, probably because he's not a savage, or maybe he is one, right? He fired shots in Tyson's Mall, and he's free, and he's requesting marijuana use. Like, somebody make this make sense. Somebody make this make sense. Man, that Twerk and Pop was crazy work. That Twerk and Pop was crazy work, bro.
A well-known DC rapper who served time for opening fire in Tyson's Corner Center will remain free even though he's violated his probation.
Why? I bet you it's people like, praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Why is this clown free? Pro-crime culture. Who you think kept him free? Pro-crime culture. Let's go.
A well-known DC rapper who served time for opening fire in Tyson's Corner Center will remain free even though he's violated his probation. Noah Settles, known as No Savage, served his 3-year sentence but has a 10-year suspended sentence. Northern Virginia Bureau Chief Julie Carey was in court as Settles' attorney made a very unusual request as he urged the judge not to send the rapper back to prison.
Oh, man. She had to flap them cheeks like goose wings while it was a shootout going on. Let me ask y'all this question. What would you do if there was a shootout? What would you do? Would you run from where the bullets were coming, or would you flap your butt cheeks like goose wings? Let me know. She was up there doing the goose wing during a shootout. Like, that's crazy.
Noah Settles, better known as the rapper No Savage, instantly recognized by fans as he stepped out of the Fairfax County Courthouse, his mother and 4-year-old son joining him at a critical hearing.
Nice to meet you.
Settles pleaded guilty and served time for opening fire at Tyson's Corner Center on Father's Day weekend of 2022. His gunshots directed at a group of rivals missed their target but caused panic among shoppers. Settles facing a judge again now.
Let me ask you this question. Why do these people always miss? Is there anybody in the comment section that could tell me why people like No Savage always miss anytime they're pointing a weapon at somebody?
Because he's violated the terms of his probation. He's failed drug and alcohol tests and not complied with required substance abuse treatment. He also traveled to New York without permission, performing at a boxing match. Settles defending his marijuana use.
Why is he still out? Look at all the extra chances that he got. Let me ask y'all this question. How many of y'all have ever gotten this kind of chance if you were in the midst of losing your job or if you got denied unemployment? You don't get this type of chance, but this dude was open firing in public and he's violating his probation terms and all of that, and he's getting all of these chances. How does this work? Shout out to Win Lose the Rug. Win Lose the Rug said he looked slow as hell. He looked like a one-cylinder car. He got a half-cylinder brain.
Legal.
The judge rules is what it is, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's legal everywhere.
Brilliance. Just brilliance. What y'all think? Definitely a soon-to-be nominee for a Nobel Prize. If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down.
The judge rules is what it is, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's legal everywhere. You know, I don't do no other drugs. So.
And Settle's defense attorney making an unusual request, asking the judge to remove the condition that the rapper not use marijuana, saying that music scene and social scene Noah has grown up with is infused with marijuana use. The defense attorney adding,
You shouldn't be negotiating. You pointed a gun and shot it in a crowd of people unrelated to what you had going on. Indeed. Shout out to Win Lose the Rug. Win Lose the Rug said, I'm no longer using the phrase indeed. Oh, man.
that Noah's music career is very successful, that he's represented by a prominent agency. The judge, skeptical of the request, responding, you're asking me to let him smoke marijuana.
So, hey, how many people agree with AB Promotions? He's a modern day Einstein. You know the crazy thing? His mother probably actually is proud of him. His mom probably is for real proud of him. Like, I don't know why, but she probably is.
Because he's a rapper, even though he hasn't done the substance abuse treatment that was ordered. The judge also warning about what could happen if Settles isn't required to follow probation rules, saying, my concern is that he comes back.
I got the tattoo on my face. They made me 10 times smarter. You always know that somebody is a complete dangerous idiot if they have tattoos on their face. I don't mess with people with tattoos on their face. Anytime I see a person or people with tattoos on their face, my assumption is that within moments there's going to be a violent crime. So I stay away from there. If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down. I'm just telling you straight up right now. If I had a business, if I owned a business, you will be discriminated against. If you have a face tattoo, you're not going to engage in any of my business, and you're going to get away. You're not even going to be allowed on the property. You know what I'm saying? You want to be a part of something wild, you want to have a shootout to tell somebody about, you will definitely have one if you try to come on my property. I'm not mad at that. Shout out to Win Lose the Rug. Win Lose the Rug said, I got tattoos everywhere but my face. Sounds like you did it right, bro. Shout out to Win Lose the Rug. Make sure y'all throw some flames, some ducks, some radiation emoji in the chat for Win Lose the Rug for being appropriately tatted up. Shout out to DJ Elmo. DJ Elmo said, what's your opinion on women with tattoos on their chest? It depends on the woman's quote unquote use case. I can't answer that question as a blanket question for quote unquote all women, because all women don't have the same quote unquote uses. But I tell you what though, you know what I'm saying? What I'm thinking, right? I haven't really pondered too deeply on this one, but just in my quick assessment, what I'm thinking is that there could be a possible use case for that.
With something more serious, or he ends up dead. Because of the suspended sentence, the judge could send Settles back to jail for up to 10 years. But instead, Settles will remain free while his attorney and probation officer try to work out a plan.
I'm just happy I ain't going to jail. That's the biggest thing. That's the biggest blessing. I got my son, so that's the biggest thing ever. Not going back to jail.
Settles says he will do better.
I'm heading in the straight path. I'm doing way better than ever. I feel better than ever. Just keep focusing, keep doing what I'm doing, keep driving. I got new music dropping. I'm going to get through this. You know what I'm saying? I've been through a lot. I ain't never folded under pressure, so I'm gonna get through it.
It's arguable that whatever pressure caused you to pull out a gun in a crowd of people, that was a folding under pressure. If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down.
So in the next month, Noah Settles is required to try to get more settled in Virginia to try to do a better job of complying with the terms of his probation, and then to come back and find out what plan the judge will approve that will allow him to move forward without being sent back to jail. In Fairfax County, I'm Julie Carey, News 4.
How do you get the choice to get on a don't go to jail plan? Here's a good idea, right? This is a good idea. This is a good idea. Let's not shoot, right? Let's not shoot in a crowded mall. That's probably one thing that'll help you stay out of jail. Now, there's a suspect, I don't know, I think this might be in Columbus, Ohio, that beat her grandmother to death. Okay, we're going to have to put this over here to the back. Okay. Let's see what else we got. What else we got over here? There is a St. Gabriel police officer who was shot to death. All right. This dude was a police captain. Now, how many people heard about these Ohio police officers that got shot? If you heard about these Ohio police officers that got shot, give me a thumbs up. If you did not, then give me a thumbs down. Shout out to everybody watching. I appreciate you guys. If you all haven't smashed the like button yet, please do me a favor. Take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, please take a moment, hit that bell. And also, please share the stream to your social media. Shout out to the AB Promotions. We just always got to throw it out there. At the gas stations in Detroit, they have it milk throwing battles. At the gas stations in Detroit, they having milk throwing battles, man. You can't make it up.
New tonight, 8 people are now facing charges accused of helping the man suspected of shooting 2 Mifflin Township police officers.
Law enforcement had some harsh words for the people they say helped to hide and move Davante Dixon from place to place after that shooting. Steve Levine is live right now with what we're learning about this case. Steve?
Well, I've gotten the charging documents for all 8 suspects. The papers say the suspects hid and then moved Dixon from place to place while he was running for police. Tonight, those suspects locked up in the Franklin County Jail, charged with obstructing justice. Franklin County Sheriff Office video capturing the arrest of 8 people, including a mother and daughter, 2 sisters, and the girlfriend of Davante.
All women help this guy. This must be immediately pointed out. All women help this guy. Thoughts? Thoughts? This guy had all female support.
Franklin County Sheriff Office video capturing the arrest of 8 people, including a mother and daughter, 2 sisters, and the girlfriend of Davante Dixon.
Thoughts? He had all female support. He had female fugitive protection. Thoughts? I'll just let that go right there. Thoughts? Shout out to DJ Elmo. DJ Elmo said all women helped. You know, a lot like the bad boys. Let me ask you guys this question. Does this contribute to breeding out intelligence? They helped him. Shout out to Windows and Rug. They helped him, and he told on him. You're in a Catsy's an anomaly. Catsy's in an anomaly. Catsy said, "What is it with women being attracted? What is it with women being attracted to bad guys? I want a good guy who is highly intelligent." How many people would agree? 90 when it comes to women, 90% of women would say in an uncandid interview, intelligence makes me dry up like the Sahara. If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down. In an uncandid interview where they didn't know that the camera was on, if asked, they would say that intelligence makes me dry up like the Sahara. If you guys believe that 90% of women would say that, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down.
County Sheriff Office video capturing the arrests of 8 people, including a mother and daughter, 2 sisters, and the girlfriend of Daviante Dixon. They're accused of harboring the wanted fugitive, wanted for the shooting of 2 Mifflin Township police officers last month during a traffic stop.
These were Dixon's trap rat friends.
Look at that.
People who apparently thrive off of chaos and think justice can be outrun.
Charging documents.
Look at that. Look at that. He just fell out of. He just messed up with Umar. He just messed up with Umar with that one right there. But again, this just goes to show that across the XX chromosome, there's no difference. There's no difference across the XX chromosome. There's a lot of similarities. And one of the major similarities is smart men make my eggs rot. Oh man, right? Smart men make their eggs rot.
Trap rat friends. People who apparently thrive off of chaos and think justice can be outrun.
Charging documents obtained by ABC6 reveal after Dixon fled the shooting scene, he ran to a home on Woodland Avenue about 840 feet from where the officers were shot, where one of the suspects said he appeared out of breath and visibly distressed. A suspect telling police makeup was applied to Dixon so he could be disguised as a woman.
Oh, dude was zesty criminal. Zesty criminal. I told you, man, these dudes is clowns, man. This is why they go to this is why they go to jail and get fleeced. He got on his Medea tip. He got on his Medea tip. Now, let me ask you guys this question. Who made this dude do this? Who made him do this? He didn't even wait to go to Hollywood to put the dress on. He just put the dress on right there. He put the dress on before he went to jail. Shout out to AB. You told him right. And for real, that's not a friend doing something like this. Doing something like that. Because a friend ain't gonna actually put you in a friend's not gonna put you in danger. He shouldn't even call. I would have been like, bro, don't even call me. What? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to AB. AB said, true story. I had a friend who committed a crime, called me and asked me to stay at my house. I told him, you can stay wherever you want to, but you won't stay here. Right. I told him you can stay away from here. That's what I would have told him. I just said you can stay away from here. Devontae was standing outside of the apartment building dressed as a female. You can't make this up. That's what the court documents say. Just gonna stick with him for the rest of his life. You go for a job interview. Was that you standing outside of that apartment dressed as a female? Why'd you do it? Why'd you do it? These dudes quick to put on a dress. You know what I'm saying? Quick to put on a dress. Now here go my again. I gotta ask this question, right? How many people appreciate this clown providing content fodder for people? If you guys appreciate this clown providing content fodder for people, give me a thumbs up. If you don't, then give me a thumbs down. What do you guys think his excuse is for putting the dress on? What's his excuse for putting the dress on? I had to run from the police. They was coming after me. I had to do what I had to do. All I had was these real chicks. You know what I'm saying? These real chicks was around me, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I just be surrounding myself with real chicks. You know what I'm saying? I had to surround myself with real chicks. They ain't had nothing but some thongs and some skirts. You know what I'm saying? That's all I had. I figured I'd wear that. I didn't think the police would catch me. I shaved up my mustache. You know what I'm saying? Put my dreadlocks in a high ponytail and try my luck. Somebody get this dude out of here. Oh, I forgot. They already are about to get him out of here.
And visibly distressed. A suspect telling police makeup was applied to Dixon so he could be disguised as a woman. At one point, wearing a pink sweatshirt, pink plaid pants, and a bonnet.
Hey, he wanted... Hey, he wanted to wear that shit. Oh, sweet tart. You know what I'm saying? Oh, sweet tart. He picked out the outfit himself. I want that one. I want that one. I want the Victoria's Secret sweatpants with pink on the booty. He picked out his own outfit. Don't let nobody fool you. This is a gangster though. This is a gangster. You know what I'm saying? It take a real gangster to wear pink. He's trying out for the Bird Gang. He's trying out for that Is What It Is podcast. Oh man, what's up with it, man? What's up with this, man? What's up with this?
She's a woman. At one point, wearing a pink sweatshirt, pink plaid pants, and a bonnet to avoid being caught.
Instead of taking a 40...
He became, shout out to AB Promotion. AB Promotion said he became Miss Doubtfire. When he get to jail, he gonna be Miss Assfire. Big Mama's house.
$1,000 reward. They chose to help a cop shooter try to disappear.
Authorities say Dixon obtained a second gun while on the run as he was moved from several different locations to avoid being captured.
These individuals we apprehended today had an opportunity to help us capture Dixon before he committed another violent act. Instead, they chose to help him evade arrest.
Dixon was taken into custody 48 hours after the police shooting with a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Jayla Call, who lived in the home where Dixon was located, charged with obstructing justice shortly after Dixon was arrested.
Hey, he had a rain. I want you guys to pay very close attention. He had a rainbow coalition of female support. Rainbow coalition of female support. he had a true, this is a true redhead. He had a true redhead helping him. You know what I'm saying? He had queens from all human beings. he had a team of queens from all human beings. And then he decided to try to become one himself.
Was located, charged with obstructing justice shortly after Dixon was arrested. Investigators not ruling out more arrests could be filed in the case. And we have learned new information about those two officers who were shot. The first officer has been released from the hospital, but he is having issues in connection with being able to move his hand. The second officer, he remains hospitalized, but he will be okay, authorities say. He just has a long road of recovery ahead. We're live with the Franklin County Corrections Officer, Steve Levine, ABC 6 News.
Thank you for watching the...
He's one of them people with a pig face. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, he's one of them people with a pig face. Now, how many people heard about this Pittsburgh Pirates employee getting into it with a fan, and then he whipped him with a belt? He said, "I'll whip your head, boy." Look, like, this is wild. "I'll whip your head, boy. You know I will." Look, watch this. Now, shout out to the New York Post, right? Because it's written Pirates employee caught whipping fan with belt at PNC Park. Mind you, the fan was just standing here being peaceful and white. That's all he was doing. That's all he was doing. He was just being peaceful and white. There was, as you guys can see here, there is literally nothing going on at all. Nothing. Right? That's all. You know. Hey, it's going down. Like what? Look. Let's bring it back. See, shout out to the Pittsburgh employee, because at this point, when this guy had got in my face right here, and when he had his hands behind his back under his bag, I would have knocked him out right here. Right here, this dude would have his consciousness would have been somewhere else. Because I don't play with people up in my face that aggressive like this. His glasses would have been somewhere in the bleachers, and he would be on top of his bag like a turtle right here. Because I'm a nice person. I'm a peaceful person. I don't like to escalate things, but this right here is the danger zone for me. So you're not getting that close to me, especially on some aggressive stuff. Nah. Right. See, you see right behind his ear, he would have got like 5,000 PSIs of pressure in like a half second right there. He'd have been gone. Hey, hey, that boy his guard is down low. Hey, look how low his guard is down. Hey, that boy's guard is down low. Look how low his guard is. Look how low his guard is. Look how low the guard is. It's about to really go down now. He took his jacket off. It's about to really go down now. He took his jacket off. Hey, this chick is huge. Hey, he brought in reinforcements and brought a giant woman. Hey, did he just spit on him? Yeah, see, he just spit on him. Hey, shout out to Windows and Rug. Windows and Rug said the tank. Hey, at least never mind. Hey, he just spit on him. That's a death sentence. Now you see all this stuff that's going on right here. The New York Post reports this as Pirates employee caught whipping a fan with a belt at PNC Park. Even though they posted the entire, like they're so stupid, they didn't even post. They could have just cut the part out and just posted the part with him whipping the fan, but they posted everything before it, and just ignore all of that. Shout out to Windows and Rug. Windows and Rug said, "I like thick legs, but that's wild." Listen. She'll brutalize you, man. See now, shout out to the female tank. The female tank told him, "Stop! Don't do that. You trifling." Hey, the female tank said, hey, don't do that. Don't do that. Now he spit on this dude. Let's see what happened. Like I said, hey, he lucky he spit on this dude. That's a death sentence for me. I'll do that time. I'll take you right up off the planet. You spit on me. And I'll do that. I'll do that time. You know what I'm saying? So look, now he finna take his belt off. This is this is crazy. Oh, hey, hey. Hey, how many people heard that? If you heard that, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't hear that, give me a thumbs down. Real quick, shout out to everybody watching. If you haven't smashed the like button yet, please do me a favor. Take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, please take a moment, hit that bell. Also, please share the stream to your social media. Hey, shout out to AB Promotions. AB Promotions said to the ladies, when men are seeing red, get out of the way. Except for unless you built like that white lady, you can stick around. I think that white lady could have held it down. She could have held it down if she needed to. You know what I'm saying? She could have definitely held it down if she needed to. Unless you built like her, get out. Shout out to Win Lose the Rug. Win Lose the Rug says spitting as a method of self-defense is crazy. Yeah, it is, bro. It's wild. And I don't even know if I don't know what you would even call this. I don't know what you would call this. Oh, I already know. Shout out to Catsy. Catsy says same goes for women when seeing red. I don't mess with women when they about to get into it. I don't even watch. I just go away. You know what I'm saying? I just go away. Let me see what else happens here. I think it's just here's a bunch of, not too much. No more belt slaps. Man, my man got the profile boot. He already messed up. What y'all think about that? Now, look at this right here. Look at this right here. Some nutcase tried to stab a bus driver. You're not safe anywhere. You're not safe anywhere. This is one of the stupid cams. This is where people look really stupid on these cameras. They all stretched out and out of shape. You know what I'm saying? And then they just do stupid stuff on top of it to make it look even worse. Look, watch this.
It ain't no way for me to have no sympathy for that. No way. You don't have a bad behavior, you know. What you want, bro? What you say? I said, what you...
Now, see, why you even let this dude on the bus is where you messed up at. Why you even let him on the bus? He was already walking around lost. Why did you let him on the bus? Let me ask y'all this question. How many of you all, if you were the driver, how many of you all would have let this dude on the bus? If you would have let him on the bus, give me a thumbs up. If you wouldn't, give me a thumbs down. You already know he on demon time.
It ain't no way for me to have no sympathy for that. No way.
When you got a bunch of bags like that and you know you haven't been shopping, don't let that person on the bus.
You don't have a bad behavior, you know. What you want, bro?
Get the hell on.
I said, what you want, bro? By the way, you ain't going that way. You ain't going that way, bro. Because you can't pass it. No, sir. No, sir. Right there. You can sit it right there, or you can get off. One or the other, bro. Because I ain't feeling it.
You know, it's all, you know, that's one of the dirtiest. Somebody gets security. You know, that's one of the dirtiest dollars that machine has ever seen. That's dirty money right there. Hey, that's probably homeboy nickname too. It's probably dirty money. What's one of that? Dirty money. You know what I'm saying?
That's when it's done. Yeah, let's see, right? But today the first, and it's the 25th year of 2025.
Yesterday my niece's birthday today, and my other niece's birthday.
Job too.
Where I'll go?
Man, come on, bro. You don't understand why somebody don't really even want to deal with you, man. This is what you putting us through, man. Can't pull your pants up, man. Hey, man, look, man, I'm gonna call somebody to help you, bro. No, bro. No, I want you off of here, man. Man, you done pulled your dick out in front of my face. Talk about on my...
Hey, man, what? Hey. Oh my God. Oh my God. Man, you can't make this up, man. You cannot make this up.
Pull your pants up, man. Hey, man, look, man, I'm gonna call somebody to help you, bro. No, bro. No, I want you off of here, man. Man, you done pulled your dick out in front of my face. Talk about on my life. Get off my butt.
I wasn't ready for that. I was not ready for that, man. I was not ready for that. That bus driver, man. Hey, that bus driver mad as hell, man. What?
Hands up, man. Hey, man, look, man, I'm gonna call somebody to help you, bro. No, bro. No, I want you off of here, man. Man, you done pulled your dick out in front of my face. Talk about on my life. Get off my butt. What are you talking about? Don't worry about it. What the hell you talking about? Don't even worry about it, bro.
Come on down the street, man. This ain't a problem, man. You only go a whole block down.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Somebody will be here to get you. Don't worry about it, man. Somebody be here to get you.
Hey, yo, get your ass off.
You get beat up for real.
I'll beat you up.
The man just passed.
Come on, bro. Ain't worth it, bro. Hey, man, don't do that.
Hey, the bus driver about to beat. Hey, the bus driver. The bus driver about to beat the brakes off that dude.
I'm sorry. Say again, please. Come on, bro. It ain't worth it, bro.
Hey, the bus driver was about to beat the brakes off of that dude right there. Man, that's crazy, man. Ooh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We always got to make time for a familicide. Hold on. Hold on. We always got to make time for a familicide. We got a familicide, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Because again, you know, when it comes to the familicide, pro-crime culture, these are crimes that don't happen, right?
almost unimaginable, but state police investigators say it happened in Columbia County. The sister of a woman who went missing helps to find her body.
33-year-old Caitlin Harp disappeared from her home near Bloomsburg on June 19th. Her body was located yesterday in a wooded area about 8 miles from her house. Her husband, Vincent Harp, is now charged with her murder. The I-Team's Andy Mahalchik joins us live in the studio with more. Andy?
Well, Nick and Kansas, the Columbia County Coroner General Reese has just released the findings of an autopsy on the body of Caitlin Harp. Reese says the body was in an advanced state of decomposition, secondary to being placed in the container consistent with a military-type storage locker for over a week. There was no evidence of gunshot wounds or penetrating trauma and no fractures to the extremity bones. The coroner says additional testing has to be done, including toxicology tests, to determine the exact cause of death. The investigation is ongoing. Caitlin Harp went missing from her home on Fairview Drive in Hemlock Township, Columbia County, on the evening of June 19th. On Sunday, her body was found in a metal box in a wooded area of Montour Township, about 8 miles away from her home. This property was once owned by her husband, Vincent. This is video of state police and first responders on the scene Sunday. According to the criminal complaint, Harp's sister, who was leading a search party, helped locate the body. 37-year-old Vincent Harp was charged with his wife's murder. On Saturday, a state police forensics team searched the Harp home on Fairview Drive. Now, some of the evidence detailed in the complaint includes security camera video from a VFW near Bloomsburg. According to that complaint, Harp's Chevy Silverado was seen on June 20th passing this location, also consistent with his cellular activity. The video clearly depicts a large green box in the bed of the vehicle. Troopers say Harp's body was locked in a green metal box. Detectives say public interest in Harp's disappearance helped provide useful information. But the social media tips and public input, did it play a factor in this, helping push it forward?
Without a doubt. Again, investigators are working every single day, but every tip that was put in on the PSP Tips Facebook page or called into 911 or Bloomsburg State Police directly, they were looked into and determined whether it was a credible or not so credible tip. But, you know, we appreciate the fact that the public was so concerned with this case, and rightfully so.
Troopers say this investigation is ongoing.
We will still take any tips or any information that people may have in relation to this case. I mean, again, the arrest was made, but the investigation is still going. Up to this point, in just over a week, we've served 20 different search warrants in just a week.
Now, investigators say Vincent Harp gave conflicting statements when talking about the night his wife vanished, but that cell phone data and surveillance video tell the real story. Now, you can see all of our reporting on this ongoing murder investigation on 2822news.com. Back.
All right, so there's that. Yeah, another familicide, yet another one, right? But again, we're the only ones that are interested in familicides. Nobody else is. If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down. So we're going to take that one. We're going to claim that. Familicide, that's our content. Because no one else is interested in it. Now, when people start acting like they're interested in it, we got to call them out. We got to call them out for what it is. So this shit been going on forever, and y'all just now decided to start being worried about it, man. Get the hell on with it. You know what I'm saying? Time to go in on them, roast them, tear them all down, and all that, right?
For a Los Feliz woman walking in her neighborhood. She says she was attacked for no reason. The victim is speaking out about the ordeal and she wants to see changes. KTLA's Rachel Menitoff spoke with that woman and is live in Los Feliz with more tonight. Hi, Rachel.
Hi, Karine. Good evening. The victim says this is typically a very walkable neighborhood, but last month she was running errands when she says a homeless man came running toward her and punched her in the face at least 3 times. And this was only about a block away from her home on Sunset Drive.
This is that bum fight type stuff. If you guys would agree, this is the bum fight type stuff, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, it's not the bum fight type stuff, give me a thumbs down. This is definitely the bum fight type stuff. A homeless person just running at you, making all kind of weird noises, and then just bust you upside the head and you ain't expecting it. Ah! Boom. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Windows and Rug. Windows and Rug said that was out. Damn, that was out here. Yeah, KTLA. Man, must have been an aggressive bump. Bro, did you ever see that video where we had, shout out to AB, because I know AB was in there and he's seen it. There was a video and it was from the Mercury Times. It was something, I think it happened like in Orange County. And the police was arresting people at this homeless encampment, and like this super bum, like this super bum, mega bum was there. And like, man, they like tased this dude at least 10 times. And just, all that happened would be like they would tase him. He would stop moving, fall down, and then he would raise back up again off of the ground and just keep coming. Like, it was crazy. Like, they would tase him. He would stop. He'd be like, And then he would just fall down flat and then get right back up. Like he would just get right up and then take the taser out and keep going. Yeah, it was an older black dude, bro. That shit was crazy. Them homeless people dangerous, bro. They like biologically enhanced soldiers or something. Like the motherfuckers like military grade homeless people, man. Like what the hell? That dude just froze in place. It was like a video game. He just like froze in place and was flashing and then collapsed and then got right back up like nothing happened. Like what?
Her name is Donna DeChristopher. She says she's suffering from a concussion, a broken nose, and complications to her eye, not to mention the psychological.
Man, that's not, look at that. Somebody just ran up on her and just busted her upside her head. Busted her eye. Like her nose is broken. You know what I'm saying? Like you can see it's all shifted to the side. She wasn't expecting that to happen that morning.
Her eye, not to mention the psychological distress. She and others have said they've seen her attacker before, that he resides in a nearby homeless encampment and has allegedly trespassed onto other properties in the past. Donna said she never felt physically threatened by him until the district attorney and the police department are not doing enough to prevent these kinds of attacks and are not communicating properly in its aftermath.
I know there's so much is going on right now, but this should not be falling through the cracks, because if this happened to me and I'm vocal, you know, I don't want this to happen to anyone else. And who else has he attacked that he has hurt, that is too afraid to come forward? And who is he going to hurt the next time he's out on the streets?
Council member Nithya Raman released a statement saying she is aware of the brutal assault and goes on to say, while our work has yielded results, including a 40% drop in the number of people living on the streets in our district last year, much more remains to be done, and we will continue to deploy every resource available towards addressing this issue.
Yeah, shout out to Cassie, that Barry Morphew. That's in Colorado, if I'm not mistaken, right? Is that in Colorado? Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, facts. Shout out to Win Lose a Rug. Win Lose a Rug said that's because it be homeless people right outside expensive ass condos, right? And then people get mad, people get upset when the people in those condos are like, this is why we got this condo. We don't want to be around this trash. They get upset. People get upset. How can they say that? That's just so messed up. How can people say that? Are you serious? Who wants to be around a bunch of violent bums? I don't. I don't want to be around bums, period, let alone violent bums. Look at this one down here. He looked like he ready. Like this one is ready for war. He got the ice mask on. Like, man, I'm good.
Now, a couple of days after this attack, LAPD arrested a homeless man in this area believed to be Donna's attacker. He had a previous warrant out for his arrest and is currently being held without bail. In the meantime, I have reached out to the district attorney's office asking about possible charges against him. That's the very latest in Los Feliz. I'm Rachel Menitoff. Karine, back to you.
All right, so there's that. All right. So let's take a look at this mass shooting. Can somebody explain the purpose of these quote unquote mass shootings to me? The only way that the content about mass shootings is dealt with is that anytime anybody discusses a mass shooting, people have to say, well, there was a mass shooting, but this happened over here. Okay, like that's cool, but like I want to discuss why these mass shootings are happening. I want to discuss why these mass shootings are happening. So here's my question for everybody. Why are these mass shootings happening? Somebody let me know why these mass shootings are happening. What's going on with them? Here goes one in Philadelphia.
News. Shooters opened fire on a crowd of people in Philadelphia's Grays Ferry section. 13 people shot, 3 of them were killed. Action News reporter Sharifa Jackson is live at the scene on Edding Street near Dickinson Street with the details for us. Sharifa, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Aliana. At this hour, police, they continue to go up and down the block, making note of every single piece of evidence that they can find on this small block. So far, we've counted more than 60 evidence markers. So it's a lot to sort through. In total, 13 people shot. We know 3 of those victims have died. Now, police say the call came in just before 1 a.m., around 12:55, for the reported shooting. According to the police commissioner, officers, they were actually nearby responding to another call, and they heard the gunshots and rushed to the scene. Now, police say they've responded here to this exact block, the 1500 block of South Edding Street, Saturday night into Sunday morning for issues including loud music, large gatherings over the weekend, and they made arrests. Officers, they were sent here throughout the day and weekend to check on the block and just do some patrols. Now, investigators say they are not exactly sure what was happening here during the latest incident, leaving so many people injured. The police commissioner, he had some very strong words for whoever is responsible. Take a listen.
Now, look, I want you guys to see this, right? I want you guys to pay attention. As you guys can see, they don't even know why this happened. They don't even know why this happened. And again, I'm asking you guys the question, what do you guys think? Why did this happen?
Yeah, this is coward stuff. This is when you see the size of this block.
Now, somebody will sit here and say that this guy is a coon. Look at him. Is he lying? Not only is this coward stuff, this is questionable mental capacity stuff. Because who would just decide to just start shooting all over the place? Shout out to Win Lose the Rug. Win Lose the Rug said the streets doing more damage than police brutality. Oh, somebody hit the alert. Somebody hit the alert. Somebody hit the raccoon. If you guys would agree with Win Lose the Rug, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. But you're not supposed to talk about it, though. You're not supposed to say anything about it. Centralized YouTube media tell you you're not supposed to ever ask that question. You're not supposed to ever solve a problem. You're just supposed to direct any type of issue towards external factors. And the reason why any type of issues have to be directed at external factors is because the thought leaders can't think. We're too stupid to create solutions. So if we can turf any type of issues that we have to external factors, we could throw our hands up and say, well, things won't change until these people fix this, because we're too dumb to come up with solutions to fix shit on our own. If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down. Now, somebody will sit there and say, you don't need to talk about this kind of stuff because this is all they talk about on the national news. No, it's not. Let me ask you guys, did they talk about this on the national news? This thing that happened in Philadelphia? No. Matter of fact, any of the stories that we talked about today, did they talk about any of that on the national news? So that's a flat out lie. Your content creators are lying to you. You shouldn't call them your content creators. You should call them your gaslighters. Your gaslighters are lying to you. And they have no basis on refuting anything that I say. They have no ability to be able to do it. Facts don't support refuting anything that I say. That's hilarious. Shout out to AB. AB said they need to take a play out of the gas station owner who was blaring music from the PA system. Hey, that's hilarious. Right. That's a hood move for sure. The PA system stereo.
Yeah, this is coward stuff. This is when you see the size of this block. I mean, just individuals just shooting randomly into houses, into cars, children out here. I mean, this is coward, wannabe thug stuff. This is stuff that it's hard to understand why individuals engage in this behavior. But as we do in all of our investigations, we will get to the root cause and we will bring those individuals to justice.
This investigation is only beginning, and we know the victims, they were taken to various hospitals, some by private vehicle. Police say that they transported 8 of the victims to hospitals. We know 2 of the victims who are currently in the hospital are juveniles. They are expected to be okay, but we're not told much about a potential suspect or suspects.
Shout out to DJ Elmo. DJ Elmo said, will you cover the crime cast of the 2 YouTubers who beefed and one deleted the other in public in Las Vegas? I think Moxie reported on it. Yeah, Moxie, shout out to Moxie. Moxie made a video about it. I'm probably not going to discuss it, not for any reason, just because it's just not something that's interesting to me. I think it's stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like, and again, it kind of goes down that rabbit hole of when I tell people you got to be careful how you moving on YouTube, who you saying things to, whatever. But, you know, as far as that shit goes, as far as that situation goes, you know what I'm saying? It's not something that I really care about to discuss, to talk about. You know what I'm saying? I'm not familiar too much with either one of those YouTubers. I wasn't interested in either one of their content. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I mean, if that's something that people would like, for that to be tolerable for me, I would need to be donated a significant amount of Bitcoin. You know what I'm saying? If I'm not donated a significant amount of Bitcoin, I can't waste my time. Is too valuable to deal with that stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? Let me ask y'all, how many of y'all heard about that? Did y'all hear about that? I think the guy's name, if it's not mistaken, the guy that got deleted, his name was Finney the God, and the guy that deleted him was Sin City Manny. Right? Am I right about that, DJ Elmo? If you guys heard about that situation, give me a thumbs up. If you guys didn't, give me a thumbs down. These dudes, the Sin City Manny and them, it was over YouTube beef. These dudes deleted each other over YouTube beef. This is the height of internet era masculinity. You know what I'm saying?
Person was taken into custody. Police say they had a weapon. Not exactly sure of his involvement in all of this. Police believe that there are multiple shooters. We're live from Grays Ferry. Sharifa Jackson, Channel 6 Action News. Matt.
And Sharifa, heavy police presence remains outside Presbyterian Hospital, where several of the victims from the mass shooting are being treated. The video shows a number of people gathered outside while police tape surrounds some of the vehicles.
Look at them. Look, let me ask you guys this. Look at all loitering around the hospital. What y'all think about that? You got treated, go home.
Parked near the hospital in University City. We reached out to Philadelphia police to find out whether this is related to the shooting on Edding Street.
I'm not trying to be funny, man. No, not like no loitering. I got a no loitering policy. Like, man, if I have a business, you're not loitering around the business. You are not loitering around the business. Now, again, why are there so many shootings? Why are there so many shootings going on? What's up with this? No one has an explanation for any of this. I bet you one of the reasons why nobody has an explanation for none of this is because people's heroes don't talk about it. Let me ask y'all this question. Did they highlight that shooting on the national news?
Ripped through Albany's 4th of July celebrations. 10 people were reportedly shot last night. News 10's Amber Fisher joins us live in the studio with what happened. Good evening, Amber.
Thank you, Anthony. More than 100 emergency crews responded to...
Now, you guys remember this. We talked about this on Undocumented briefly. Right? If you guys remember us talking about this on Undocumented briefly, give me a thumbs up. If you don't remember us talking about this on Undocumented, then give me a thumbs down. Yeah, we definitely talked about this on Undocumented briefly. Now, again, I keep asking this question. What's going on here? Yeah, shout out to AB Promotions. Yeah, you guys remember on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Will Smith said that in the song in the beginning. Did a couple of guys who were up to no good started making trouble in my neighborhood. I got in one little fight. My mom got scared. She said, "You're moving with your uncle and auntie in Bel-Air." She did the right thing. Right? She did the right thing.
3 separate shootings across the city last night. Mayor Kathy Sheehan spoke alongside Albany's police chief, as well as the county's district attorney this morning. And they confirmed that multiple
Shout out to Carlton. What's good with it, bro?
crimes and one person is in critical condition.
The first shooting occurred at 5:30 last night near North 1st Street and Jennings Drive. A 15-year-old boy was shot in the foot.
And just as the fireworks display at Empire State Plaza was ending, Police Chief Brendan Cox says a separate fight broke out on Madison Avenue near Swan Street. One juvenile allegedly fired a flare gun, and another juvenile fired a handgun. A shot from the flare gun started a massive structure fire at 333 Madison Avenue. A nearby home also caught on fire and has to be torn down.
When I was 14, 15 years old, my parents, while they might not have always known what I was doing, they certainly would have known if I was running around with a handgun or a flare gun.
Chief Cox adds that the minor with the handgun shot 4 victims. They were a 62-year-old woman, a 24-year-old girl, and 2 17-year-old boys. One of the boys was shot in the head. The others have non-life-threatening injuries.
Giving a child a gun will not keep that child safe. And we only need to look at last night to see how true that is.
While responding to this fire and shooting, an ambulance hit a parked car, which then struck and injured an Albany.
See, I mean, I'm talking about these people are so dumb. They're causing chain stupid reactions. They're causing chain reactions of stupidity. You know what I'm saying? They're causing ambulances to hit parked cars, and parked cars blow up, and a piece of burning shrapnel goes into a gas plant and blows it up. Like, this is ridiculous. This is a cascading domino effect of dumb destruction. This is a cascading domino effect of this is a cascading domino effect of dumb destruction. If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down. Show me where you can find stuff like this going on elsewhere. Show it to me. Where's that? We talk about it. Because we talk about everything on Crimecast. You know what I'm saying? We talk about everything on Crimecast. This is dumb.
Police officer. That officer has since left the hospital. The third and final shooting happened around 1 a.m. on Livingston Avenue and west of Henry Johnson Boulevard. Chief Cox says 5 people were sitting outside when a group of juveniles.
Until yesterday, I've never seen a shootout where pistols and pussy were both being popped at the same time. I've never seen anything like it until yesterday. We bore witness to a first of a new kind of degeneracy.
Allegedly walked up to them and fired. All 5 victims were hit, including 3 teenage girls, a 14-year-old boy, and a 41-year-old woman. They all suffered non-life-threatening injuries. This is also being considered a targeted crime. Officials say that they can be reactive to crime and arrest suspects, but that the problems go deeper.
And the chief was right. We're really good at prosecuting people, but we're not going to prosecute our way out of this problem. Ladies and gentlemen, I am calling on fellow parents to help me, help the chief, help the mayor. Because this has to change.
Currently, there are no.
Hey, you know, he really don't care about it all like that. What that translates into is please, 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 we don't have the manpower to work like this. Please stop. I have a vacation that I want to go on in the next month or two. And with crime this out of control and the staff down this low, I'm not going to be able to go on my vacation. I'm not going to get my PTO approved. We need you people to stop. I got an Airbnb already booked in Fort Lauderdale. Please, please, please stop. Regardless of if that's what he's saying or not, how do you justify this is the question.
Suspects in custody and the investigations are ongoing. We will keep you updated on our website, news10.com. Reporting live in the studio, Amber Fisher, News 10, ABC.
Yeah, facts. And shout out to AB Promotions. That's a fact. Yeah, his wife got deleted too. She said, "Are you serious?" And then she found out that things were serious. So we're going to talk. We're going to talk about some things. Massive gun violence going on in Chicago. There's a massive ICE operation underway at MacArthur Park. You remember when Chris Tucker was talking about MacArthur Park? Anytime, if you watch any type of movies about, that happened in California or like, you know what I'm saying, any movies like Friday or anything like that, they always talk about MacArthur Park. You know what I'm saying? There's an ICE operation going on down there right now. Karen Bass down there not doing anything. Chicago gun violence. At least 44 people shot, 6 fatally in July 4th weekend shootings across the city. Now, here's my question. Thoughts? Immediate response. All they do is focus on Chicago. Don't talk about Chicago. Anytime anybody ever brings up Chicago, do you ever notice that no one justifies the action of what's going on there? No one ever critiques what's actually going on there. All it is a bunch of don't talk about Chicago shaming. How many people have ever seen don't talk about Chicago shaming as a deflection tactic when people critique what's actually going on in Chicago? If you guys have seen this tactic, give me a thumbs up. If you have not seen this tactic, give me a thumbs down. Shout out to make sure if you guys see these type of things, make sure you guys send them to me in the Discord so we could laugh at them and roast this stuff. All right. Now look at this. I want to read this again. Chicago gun violence. At least 44 people shot, 6 fatally in July 4th weekend shootings across the city. Let me ask you guys this question. What if police killings were adding up like that? What would people say about it? That's my question. I think it's more scary that these are civilian shootings, because regardless of what people think about police, there's at the very least a procedural expectation, and the procedural expectation can somewhat be used as a precedent to hold police somewhat accountable, right? There's no procedural expectation of any type of gun violence regarding citizens other than whether they had the gun legally versus illegally. If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down. Shout out to Leonard. What's good with you, bro?
Unfortunately, more violence in the city. So far, at least 40 people have been shot and 6 killed across Chicago this 4th of July weekend.
40 people shot, 6 people killed is crazy. I want to ask you guys this question. How does that move society forward? I guess they're helping out with the population control efforts, but besides that.
Some neighborhood residents walked the track at Avalon Park, unaware just hours earlier gun violence claimed the life of a teenage girl while wounding a man there.
I'm always shocked at the things that's happening in this area, but again,
why are you always shocked? Again, we got to ask these people the same question that we asked the familicide and surviving the suburbs people. Why are you shocked? Let me ask you guys the question. Are people walking around oblivious, quote unquote, shocked by things that occur in areas where these things happen all the time? Does that contribute to more of these type of things happening? If that contributes to more of these type of things happening, give me a thumbs up. If it doesn't, then give me a thumbs down. Shout out to everybody watching. I appreciate you guys. If you all haven't smashed the like button yet, please do me a favor. Take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, please take a moment, hit that bell. Also, please share the stream to your social media.
And again, I'm getting used to it at the same time. But it is heartbreaking.
Just before 11 p.m. Friday night, investigators say gunfire erupted in the park located in the 1200 block of East 83rd Street on the city's.
Shout out to Leonard. Right. I wouldn't disagree with that. Right. Shout out to Leonard. Leonard says Chicago is highly Masonic run. Do the math, bro. I wouldn't disagree with that. But here goes my question. What does that have to do with the people that live there engaging in this level of gun violence? You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't disagree that at the top levels, you know what I'm saying? Like you got JB Pritzker and all that, right? I wouldn't disagree. But on the street level, what's going on where 44 people are getting shot all in one weekend is insane. Let me ask you guys this question. How many people would feel safe living there? If you guys would feel safe living there, give me a thumbs up. If you guys wouldn't, give me a thumbs down. With these kind of crime levels, with this kind of level of degeneracy in this place, the real estate, it should only be like $3 a month for rent. Who would actually pay to live here? And I wouldn't disagree. Shout out to Leonard. Leonard said they are GTA NPCs, bro. Facts. These people are bots. They're bots. They cardboard cutouts. You know what I'm saying?
South Side. Police say 16-year-old Mia Smith died of a bullet wound to the throat, while a 35-year-old man was hit in the leg after an attacker.
That's a terrible way to die. That is a terrible way to die. This woman died of a bullet wound in her throat. She probably drowned. She probably suffocated. Like the bullet wound punctured her throat. It probably hit one of her jugular veins, and her jugular veins probably bled into her lungs, and she probably was alive and miserable and lacking oxygen her entire time dying. No one should have to suffer that. Now, do you think that anybody cares? No. Shout out to Carlton. Carlton said people on social media said that these mass shootings in Chicago are done by W men in blackface silicone masks. Now, here go my thing. I wouldn't doubt that that's the case with some of them, right? I wouldn't doubt that that's the case with some of them, but what about the ones that's not? Yeah, you ever seen those deaths on TV where somebody's on the ground holding their throat and they're like, that type of thing? It's that type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to DJ Elmo. DJ Elmo said, Neely Fuller says black people should not congregate in large gatherings if it's not constructive. If folks follow this codification, many of our people wouldn't be a victim. And again, shout out to DJ Elmo. This just proves the point, right? The fact that all of these people were congregated in this area up to no good. This literally shows that people don't want the things that they say that they want. Everybody will sit there and quote Neely Fuller Jr. while there's 100 people in a 25 by 25 space and then somebody gets killed. But then if I say something about it, I'm the coon. Well, shout out to DJ Elmo, because DJ Elmo just said that according to the code, people ain't supposed to gather like this. So me talking about this shit don't make me a motherfucking coon. Motherfuckers being gathered like this and causing problems and people getting killed as a result of it is actually literally off code. But you got people on social media, people on YouTube, these fucking false fucking prophets that twist and convolute shit. They'll have you thinking that somebody like me talking about this shit is the motherfucking problem. And I want people to understand, people should really be offended by the quote unquote alleged leadership's disrespect of your intelligence. But at the same time, if you can't pick up on it, I guess the disrespect is warranted, right? If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down.
Wound to the throat, while a 35-year-old man.
Now, let me ask you guys this question. How many people would want to hear news that a woman in their family died of a random bullet in their throat? If that's something that would make your day, if that's something that would make you, that would just, that's exactly what you want to hear. Give me a thumbs up. If not, give me a thumbs down.
16-year-old Mia Smith died of a bullet wound to the throat, while a 35-year-old man was hit in the leg after an attacker approached them on foot and opened fire. In the hours to follow, there would be 2 new mass shootings. The first within the city's back of the yards neighborhood, leaving 7 people wounded. It happened near 48th and Justine just after 11 o'clock. That's when witnesses say 2 gunmen walked up to a crowd and started shooting. 4 women injured, range in age from 21 to 27 years old, and were seriously or critically hurt, along with a 21-year-old and a 29-year-old man. A 42-year-old man also remains hospitalized. Another attack on the group happened near the Cook County Criminal Courts building. Investigators say 4 men were sitting in a car near 27th in California when another vehicle pulled up and someone inside started shooting. The men, who range in age from 25 to 33 years old, each suffered multiple gunshot wounds. Street pastor and anti-violence activist Dr. Donovan Price says he's concerned about what feels like an uptick in gun violence.
Now, again, I want to ask you guys something, because we saw this on Undocumented yesterday, and we're going to go over it again today because it's Crimecast appropriate. But my question is, why are people saying that they're surprised about this? How can you be surprised when stuff like this literally happens all the time where you are? I would be more surprised if a night went by without a shooting than I would be if a night went by with multiple shootings. If a night went by with multiple shootings, I would not be surprised. If a night went by without any shootings, that would actually surprise me. How can people be surprised by things that happen repeatedly? Again, like, does that make sense? If something happens every single day and someone says, I'm surprised by that, doesn't that make you kind of suspicious? What? You know?
Sometimes it's about plain evil. And as long as people have guns, they're going to use them whenever they get angry. It's
Now, this is completely taking away the accountability. It's not people. Everybody's not getting angry using their guns. It's again, this is nonsense. Now, let me ask you guys this question. Is this an adequate explanation to deal with the situation that's going on there? When people get upset, they use guns. Everybody doesn't get upset and use guns. It's not a true statement. We're not talking about everybody also because everybody wasn't involved in these crimes. We got to talk about these particular people here. So again, I want you to pay very close attention. This dude is immediately coming with the explanation to shift the accountability away from the people who actually committed the crime. A lot of these people are not even angry when they shoot people. A lot of these people are doing routine killings as a result of some type of, criminal enterprise that they're involved in. There's a lot of times there's not any emotion behind any of this stuff. And he's saying it happened. These aren't road rage situations where somebody actually is angry. We don't even know the state of mind that the person was in that decided to do all the shooting. You know what I'm saying?
sometimes it's about plain evil. And as long as people have guns, they're going to use them whenever they get angry. It's a tool of convenience, of angry convenience.
ABC 7 is tracking holiday weekend shootings from the morning of Thursday, July 3rd at midnight to the evening of Sunday, July 6th.
Now, I want you guys to pay attention. Notice how this individual didn't assign any of the blame for any of this. He didn't assign any of the blame for this to the people that did it. He assigned the blame to the gun. Now, if you assign the blame to the gun and you take out the element of human control, does that facilitate people continuing to do the same idiotic behavior? If it does, give me a thumbs up. If it does not, give me a thumbs down. There's places in the world where gun use is outlawed, and people who are using the same temperaments do this exact same thing with knives. So again, anytime you divert the accountability away from the criminal, we're dealing with pro-crime culture, pro-crime reverend right here, right?
Activist Dr. Donovan Price says he's concerned about what feels like an uptick in gun violence.
Sometimes it's about plain evil. And as long as people have guns, they're going to use them whenever they get angry.
So if people have fists, they're going to use them whenever they get angry. So we should just cut off everybody's hands, right? As long as people have cars, they're going to, drive aggressively when they're angry. So we should just outlaw cars. As long as people have legs, they might kick people when they get mad. We're just going to cut everybody's legs off by his logic. Let me ask you guys this question. How do you feel about his logic? Dr. Donovan Price.
It's a tool of convenience, of angry convenience.
ABC 7 is tracking holiday weekend shootings from the morning of Thursday, July 3rd at midnight to the evening of Sunday, July 6th at 11:59 p.m. At least 44 people have been shot, resulting in 6 homicides, a concern to some Chicagoans fearful about their safety.
I have 2 sons, and I'm very concerned about them. I have 2 brothers, one that was murdered and one that was shot. So it's affected me personally.
Police continue to.
And you still live there. That city has taken out, clearly, harmed your family, and you're still there. Shout out to Alpha Male Pimp Network. What's good with it, bro? Like, this just don't make any sense.
Investigate, but so far, no one is in custody and no arrests have been made.
No one is in custody. No arrests have been made. So now, again, my question is, what do people think about that? What do people think about that? How many people heard of Oglethorpe Mall? Apparently there was a shooting there. Why was there a shooting at Oglethorpe Mall? Why are I was saying, like, why are people shooting at the mall? Yeah, I gotta agree. Shout out to Win Lose a Rug. Win Lose a Rug said that lady don't give a F about her 2 sons. If y'all agree, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. In 2025, no one's going for BS excuses anymore. People should have stopped doing it a long time ago. But we're gonna stop. We're gonna end all of that nonsense. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Alpha Male Pimp Network. Alpha Male Pimp Network said, what's crazy is that I've been to Chicago. I was on O Block. It was perfectly peaceful that day. Bro, you congratulations for making it back alive. You know what I'm saying? Congratulations for making it back alive, because they do nothing to keep a peaceful environment there. You know what I'm saying? So this video here is 12 minutes. We don't really have time for a 12-minute video on a shooting at Oglethorpe Mall. So we're going to look at, we're going to quickly look at this live action ICE raid. All right, let me see something real quick. We should talk about this on Undocumented, but Undocumented finna get a little bit of a rest. Undocumented about to get a little bit of a rest. And we're going to take a look at this. Why is Karen Bass in the middle of this? Uh-oh. This happened right in Akron. Okay. We're going to take a look at this. We definitely going to take a look at this. Why is there so much content like this is my question. You shouldn't have to, it shouldn't be this easy to find this kind of stuff. Look at this. There we go.
This is MacArthur Park. Some super secret ICE sweep is going on down here. It's very effective indeed. You've got the armored vehicle, a large number of, I would venture to say those have to be agents, maybe agents and, some other, and you've got the mounted. And I don't think they're mounted PD because they're not supposed to be helping, but maybe they are. I don't know. But you got mounted officers down there as well. So far, I've actually seen nobody going into custody. I've seen a lot of middle fingers go up to the law enforcement or the ICE that is down there, and that's it. And it seems to be.
Now, I find it interesting, right? I got to ask this question when it comes to ICE. How many migrants have ICE deleted? Like, who's the Derek Chauvin of ICE is my question. Anybody got anything for me? Who's the Derek Chauvin of ICE? Anybody know?
Be more almost more media down there than anybody else in the park, besides the ICE agents. I'm just calling it like I see it. If if this is your first time you've tuned in, you probably might be doing that. Does this guy know his mic is live? Yes, I know my mic is live, and my job is to report what we see, and I am reporting what we're seeing down there. Again, this is MacArthur Park in the downtown area, where it seems like they went all out this afternoon or early morning, late morning, and I wonder what it's netting, to be honest with you. But at any rate, you got the mounted officers down there. You've got a large number of ICE and a multitude of vans.
Shout out to Win Loser Rug. Win Loser Rug said, my brother and me were driving Saturday and someone tagged F ICE on the wall. Like, you can't make this up. Here go the question. Why?
Because unless we missed it, maybe it happened before we got here and all these vans are full. But that's what's going on right now, downtown Los Angeles, right by MacArthur Park. Actually, it's going to be the Westlake area if you really want to start cutting hairs. That's Wilshire Boulevard that I'm showing you. That is shut down in both directions from Alvarado to. So you should know this by heart.
Yeah, shout out to AB. AB said no one. So here's my question: If ICE hasn't deleted any migrants, why is everybody acting like they're just doing the most crazy things to them? They haven't deleted no unarmed migrants, like none of that. It's just interesting. Just keep your head on the swivel.
Should, right? But I always get the other one wrong. Parkview. Come on, Stu. How hard is it? You're at a Parkview. Anyway, that's what's going on. I wish we had something more enticing to look at, but like I said, you've got more. And when I say media, that was me being kind. You have more cell phones being held up than anything else down there, and you can see the law enforcement, ICE enforcement. Maybe I'm being serious. Maybe that's the reason for the number of vans. Maybe this wasn't for the incarcerated, soon-to-be deportees. Maybe it was more for getting all these officers to the location. That might be what we're seeing here. Hang on.
Yeah, that's kind of wild. What y'all think? So they said, look like Karen Bass is down there. Now, here goes my question for you guys. What do you guys think that Karen Bass is doing down there? She being a hero? Or is she being a Karen? Let me know which one Karen Bass is doing. Is she being a hero or is she being a Karen?
Is a live aerial view right here as you are taking a look at a large convoy and DHS officials right there, agents. And this is from our Fox correspondent Bill Malugin saying that breaking news, we are with hundreds of federal agents and military as a massive federal immigration enforcement operation is underway in the MacArthur Park area of the sanctuary city of Los Angeles, an area with heavy MS-13 influence. Mayor Bass has demanded that the raids stop. So this is another live look aerial view.
Why is Mayor Bass demanding that these raids stop? Why is Mayor Bass pro-crime culture protecting MS-13 members? Pro-crime culture. Pro-crime culture. We're not going to stop saying it. Pro-crime culture.
Right here from KTTV as hundreds of federal agents and military are part of this massive immigration enforcement. You can see, in fact, the large tanks right there. You can see the agents in their gear. And that does look like it's Mayor Bass, who is surrounded by photographers. So we're working to get more information on this. It does look like she is going to be discussing this with some officials. I'm just going to raise the audio. This is from the helicopter of our Fox 11 LA team. So it's unclear as to whether or not we're actually going to get any sound. But that is LA Mayor Karen Bass walking the streets there in LA as hundreds of federal agents and military are operating a federal immigration enforcement operation. This is happening right now in Los Angeles. So you can see that Mayor Bass surrounded by media as they're asking her for comment. We also see a number of federal agents surround.
Shout out to Detroit 313. What's good with you, bro? You say she definitely being a Karen? Yeah, Karen Bass is in a constant state of being a Karen. Her parents knew it, and they named her appropriately at birth. She was assigned a Karen at birth.
The area, as well as this is a DHS raid operation happening right now in LA. This is a live look from our KTTV helicopter, and you can see Mayor Bass there in the teal suit right there. It's a little hazy, as you can see that the helicopter now panning away, but we did want to share this with you coming into our live now for Fox Studios at this moment from LA, as hundreds of federal agents and military are there in LA as part of a federal immigration enforcement operation. We are working to gather more information, and should we hear from LA Mayor Bass, we will do so. I am just going to raise the audio to see if we can hear anything. This is a live look from the helicopter, so it is unlikely, but let's just try.
This is where we are. This is really the altitude where we're at. This is the 2x. This is just the glass, and then when I hit the digital doubler, we lose resolution. All right.
Karen Bass is just down there for her Democrat photo op. She's definitely just down there for her Democrat photo op.
Yeah, that's the digital doubler. That's what you're saying. You're cutting the resolution down. And that actually, according to the machine, is sharp.
So we are hearing from the helicopter operator right there, and it does sound like he is answering some questions that we don't hear. But this is some breaking news out of Los Angeles as a federal immigration enforcement operation is currently underway. You see a large crowd right there. LA Mayor Karen Bass is at the center of this large crowd. As you can see, some of the tankers right there on the street in LA. And according to Fox News correspondent Bill Malugin, this is an operation in the MacArthur Park area of LA, an area that he says has a heavy MS-13 influence. Mayor Bass right there demanding that the raids stop. And you can see that it's getting a little physical right there as the crowd is kind of pushing towards this police vehicle. You can also see on the right-hand side of your screen some of these federal agents in their gear right there with their helmets on, with their vests. So it does appear perhaps that Mayor Bass is getting into this vehicle as she was surrounded by the media as well as a number of individuals. So
yeah, man, that's ridiculous, man. This is just out of hand. Oh yeah, it's about to be lit. We might have to actually throw a little bit of undocumented in there. We might actually have to throw a little bit of undocumented in there. Hold on real quick, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys have not, please do me a favor, take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, please take a moment, hit that bell. Also, please share the stream to your social media. Let me see. I lost it. Damn. I lost it. I had a little video that I wanted to show y'all, but I lost it. All right, let me see what else. So much stuff going on. So much stuff going on, man. Oh, Lord have mercy. Yeah, man. I think we might just let me see. Let me see. All right, we gotta talk about this dude. We gotta talk about this dude before I go. Because this is ridiculous. I want to ask you guys this question. Who is this guy right here trying to compete with? Who is this guy trying to compete with? Let me know who he's trying to compete with. Father. Look at this. Oh, we gotta look at these two clowns too. Shout out to them. More content, right? But remember, not allowed to talk about it. Father who murdered infant son by sealing him in a bucket of laundry detergent learns his fate. Whatever his fate is, I'm sure is not bad enough. Now, here's my question. Who made this individual do this? A father who deleted his infant son by submerging him in a bucket of laundry detergent and sealing the lid pled guilty to his crime and learned his fate. According to a probable cause affidavit obtained by law and crime officers, responded to a hospital after a woman checked in with signs of domestic abuse on August 10th of 2024. The woman said that her husband, 29-year-old Elisard Monius. Now, let me ask you guys this question. What kind of name is this here? Elisard Monius viciously attacked her with a tire iron or wrench, resulting in a fractured skull. She also said that he took their 3-month-old son to an unknown location. Okay. Authorities searched the Monius home, but were unable to locate the infant, per the affidavit. Even after finding and arresting Monius, the man reportedly only confessed to attacking his wife, but claimed that he did not know where his son was. Police returned to the house the next day, prompting the damning discovery of an orange bucket in the kitchen. Now, let me ask you guys a question. What do you think? What do you think was going on with this orange bucket in the kitchen? What do you guys think was going on with this orange bucket in the kitchen? The orange bucket had the lid attached to the bucket and was located next to the trash can in the kitchen. The affidavit reportedly said a young male infant believed to be the victim was located deceased in a dark-colored liquid inside of the orange bucket once the lid was removed. A subsequent autopsy determined that the boy died from asphyxia, from being immersed in the detergent. Tippecanoe County Deputy Prosecutor Elsie Magdine lambasted Monia's actions during a court hearing, per Journal and Courier. It really doesn't get worse than this, Madigan said. A father put his 3-month-old son face down in a bucket of laundry detergent, sealed the lid, left his son to die, and then went to the next room and viciously attacked the baby's mother. The boy drowned in the bucket, swallowing 100 millimeters of detergent while he died. And again, this is one of those terrible deaths. Imagine this as a 3-month-old, not knowing what 3-month-old, only 3 months into life, not knowing what the hell is going on, having this done to you by your own father. The very person that's supposed to keep you safe. You know what I'm saying? The defendant wanted to teach his wife and women a lesson, she continued. So this is interesting. You can't disrespect a man. The defendant said he repeatedly didn't care what the consequences were. He could not live without teaching his wife a lesson, and he didn't care if he spent the rest of his life in prison, which is exactly where he belongs. I don't know what type of lesson you're about to be teaching her. You know what I'm saying? This dude sounds like a YouTube red pill rager. I'm gonna teach her a lesson, even if it means deleting my son and living out the rest of my life in jail. Somebody else gonna be teaching her lessons too. You know what I'm saying? When she get a new man. Like, you can't make this up. You can't make this up. Look at this couple. Look at this couple. Remy Ma and Papoose here. You know what I'm saying? Let's look at Remy Ma. Look at Remy Ma and Papoose here. You know what I'm saying? Cincinnati couple could get 17 years in prison for baby's drowning death. DeGary Burbridge and Kiara Nettles both are 19. Both of them are 19. They're accused of leaving their 5-month-old boy alone in a bath on May 16th. Is it just me, or does anybody notice that studs or stud lookalikes are getting a lot of action these days? A lot of action these days. I think it's kind of bizarre. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of bizarre. I don't know what to say. A West Price Hill couple has been indicted on charges for the drowning death of their baby. DeGary Burbridge and Kiara Nettles, both 19, are accused of leaving their 5-month-old boy alone in a bath on May 16th. Okay. The couple left the baby alone in a baby bathtub filled with water, according to Hamilton County Prosecutor Connie Pillage. A third person asked about the baby, prompting Burbridge and Nettles to check on him. They found him face down and unresponsive, according to Pillage. I mean, what were you doing? Look at this. I mean, it's just, look at this stuff at the bottom. look at look at this stuff at the bottom here. Shout out to everybody watching. I appreciate you guys. If you all haven't smashed the like button yet, please do me a favor. Take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, please take a moment, hit the bell. Both were indicted on charges of involuntary manslaughter, reckless homicide, and child endangering. They each face up to 17 years in prison if convicted. More to explore. Let's explore. Mother allegedly stabs daughter in the face and neck, leaves her under a pile of brush to die. What's wrong with these people? This local man forced a girl into her car and raped her. Get in the car. You know what I'm saying? That's what he said. Get in the car right now and spread those cheeks. Spread them. You know what I'm saying? Spread your cheeks immediately, or you will not be hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Get in this car right now and spread those cheeks. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is just ridiculous. Would you guys agree this is ridiculous? Like, I just can't anymore. You know what I'm saying? Looks like they got a little video of this one. So let's see what they're talking about on the video here. All right, good. It's always good when you can turn the sound off on these commercials. No, you know, it's also cool when the skip button works. All right, there we go. Hold on.
You can call it fate. You can
My man right there don't have a neck. That's just a head on top of a collar. Hey, that's just a head collar right there. Homeboy don't have a neck at all. Yeah, he does. Shout out to AB. Facts. He calls her bro, and she tells him to S her D. She one of those crotch grabbing females, man. She grabs her crotch all the time. He probably get turned on by it or weird self. This dude right here he don't have a neck. It's just a head on top. It's just a head on top of a collar. Like,
you can call it fate, you can call it kismet, you can call it whatever you want. But I think at the end of the day, those people were there for a reason, and it's a higher purpose. And thank God that they were there.
Deep in the brush at Cecil Webb Wildlife Management Area, two people made a horrifying discovery. A 12-year-old girl, bleeding, weak, and barely able to speak.
The victim had been kind of, I hate to use the word discarded, but that's kind of the best way to describe what it was. After the attack, she was left bloodied and under a pile of brush.
The girl managed to tell deputies her attacker was this woman, 35-year-old Gwendolyn Gerard, and that she drove off in a gold van. Hours later, Gerard was found in North Fort Myers. Investigators say she confessed to the attack.
All the wounds appear to be knife inflicted from all the reports that I've read. There were stab wounds, there were cut wounds, there were defensive wounds on the victim's hands as well, where she tried to block some of the attack.
Now Wink News has confirmed through family that Gerard is the victim's very own mother. She is being charged with aggravated battery and aggravated child abuse and is in the Lee County Jail, awaiting transfer back to Charlotte County. Meanwhile, the girl is recovering in the hospital.
I can tell you that this one, it shook the sheriff. He said he was speechless.
and they just cut him off. That's just it. They don't care about editing the videos properly. You know what I'm saying? Just throw up the content. Just throw this up. Put it on up there. This man is local to where exactly? He's 5'3". And he said, get in the car. Get in the car right now and pull your pants down. You know what I'm saying? Pull your pants down. Beach. That's just wild. That's just wild. He looking at the camera like somebody was going to give me some pussy. Local man accused of forcing girl into his car and then raping her. He's on a mugshot thing right there. They clowning him. They didn't have to put them numbers. Oh man, his name is Tandy Tamang. Oh yeah, he wasn't playing. He had on sandals too. You know what I'm saying? He had on sandals and smelled like onions and was about to get him something that night. A Mount Healthy man, which is a wild name of, I don't know where the hell Mount Healthy is accused of kidnapping and raping a young girl in Trenton. Tandy Tamang was indicted on June 11th. According to court papers, Tamang grabbed the girl under the age of 13 by the wrist and forced her into his vehicle. Police say he took off the girl's pants and raped her. They were found by the girl's father and another witness. Ooh, I know the father probably wanted to delete him. I know that girl's father was, they probably had to hold him back. And he was probably mumbling and babbling. Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I'm so sorry. You know what I'm saying? Hey, 5'3" is crazy. 5'3" is definitely crazy. Like, bruh, for real, you like a little person. Oh, man. Yeah, man, it's more. There's more. There's more. There's always more. You know what I'm saying? I just don't have time for it today. We're going to try to do some more tomorrow, though. All right? We're going to try to do some more tomorrow. Some more Crimecast tomorrow, all right? So make sure that you are locked in. Make sure that you hit the bell. Make sure that you share the stream to your social media. Make sure that you're subscribed to all of my channels, all right? I appreciate each and every one of y'all for coming through. I hope y'all enjoyed the stream. Make sure y'all leave a comment. And as always, ladies and gentlemen,
jump out the crib, stack up my C-No this year, killing my ego this year, all for the people this year, only believe in the real, I do believe in no fear, and I got gang in this bitch, I never switch on the tribe, I keep it all the way real, I'm in control of my feels, you see my highlights and study my real, yeah. I'm showing more love this year, running more plays, finna scale up my business this year, the world in my palm, I'm a star, I deliver my cadence, I'm serving up chills to my peers, bringing the bread for the fam, everything good on the side, everything coming together. New whip, no leash, no key in it, they heat it. California on the plate, I'm out here playing for keeping. I pull up, she leaking, she want me for the weekend. My foot on the gas with the brakes, hate me or love me, you see me. Flex, yes, I got my foot on their neck. I'm out with a squad to the death, young nigga get to the checks. Flex, yes, got nothing to lose and something to prove. Young nigga come from the trench. Cuban links on my neck, tanking, freeze, smoking on dope, that diesel, freeze, running till I miss my season, laid back, geeky, smoking on dope, that diesel, young nigga gone off the deep end, running till I miss my season, I keep a stack of them blessings, I'm ballin', I'm playing, calling, they chain on me matching my smile, you know that I stay salty, wrist flooded, she drowning. We good on this side, everything coming together. New whip, no leash, no key in it, they heat it. California on the plate, I'm out here playing for keeping. I pull up, she leaking, she want me for the weekend. My foot on the gas with the brakes, hate me or love me, you see me. Flex, yes, I got my foot on their neck. I'm out with a squad to the death, young nigga get to the checks. Flex, yes, got nothing to lose and something to prove. Young nigga come from the trench. Cuban links on my neck, tanking, freeze, smoking on dope, that diesel, freeze, running till I miss my season, laid back, geeky, smoking on dope, that diesel, young nigga gone off the deep end, running till I miss my season.
Once we understand that it is through our five senses that these imprints are being made on our subconscious mind, we can then consciously begin to utilize our five senses to imprint something different.